Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living by the Law, the podcast discussing fictional worlds and how wondrous and ridiculous they are. My name is Matt, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Jude and Guy. Living by the Law is not currently sponsored. If you wish to sponsor us, challenge your father to a game of Family Feud. Once you have defeated him, claim the family business and cast him out. Broadcast his defeat alongside your sponsorship offer. We will hear you. We always do.
Ever had a family fight? Well, it wasn't as bad as the Mishima families as we enter the universe of Tekken. With 4 generations of warmongers, a family curse, and an orbital laser, we're in for a bit of a ride. Warning, this episode contains spoilers for the main series Tekken games and the Mishima Family Feud storyline.
I didn't think I would say this, guys. I didn't think that I would get to this point, but
We're here for you, man. What's up?
Why are your cold open so slow?
I
Why are you
finished.
cold open so depressing?
Hey, you had the depressing one.
I did.
I finished Sanderson book, and it wasn't great.
No!
Hold it up.
wasn't
Hold up
great.
the book.
Hold up.
Hold up the book.
I'm not going to give a big review in the cold open of this episode, but Cytonic, the 3rd book of the Skyward series, it just didn't hit very well for me.
That's so...
I don't know what was happening. It just felt like old Brandy cooked too hard,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a bit too weird.
Maybe
I hate to say it.
Maybe Brandy does need to slow down.
This was a very long time ago he wrote this book.
Oh.
So this is like pre-lockdown he would have written this book. So
I mean, everyone's got to have a couple stinkers.
yeah, it's just it got like they enter like the whole book ends up happening in like a realm of thought and like not reality.
It gets too, like, theoretical.
It's just a bit too crazy, and like you're reading about how this person's subconscious is battling other beings of subconscious, and it's like
That sounds fucking sick. I don't know what he's talking about.
I think the problem is Brandy's best at writing when he's writing scenes of characters having confrontations or fighting, whether it's actual fighting or like really good dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So when the paragraph and the big climax of the book has to be a 1-paragraph description about people's thoughts and minds smashing against each other, it's like he's not letting his best things happen because there's no dialogue there, and there's no actual like action interaction happening there, and then you're just kind of left with like not a lot.
It's like a famous painter being like, I am now going to exclusively do sculpting. And it's like,
Yeah.
It's not your best, like, I'm sure, go for it, but I don't know if it's going to be your best work, my guy.
Yeah.
I think mind battles and like psychic battles are really hard to depict.
They are.
In
You
a
are
lot-
so wrong. Do you not know about the Holocaust beam?
What?
Have you not seen that clip from the old X-Men thing?
No.
Professor X hits Magneto with a beam that makes him remember the Holocaust and incapacitates him. I don't think there's ever been a better mental battle
okay.
than the Holocaust beam.
Okay, well that's not what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's not the whole. It's just him making him remember his memories. Like that's why I would call it an Holocaust beam.
Because it keeps using it. Literally, Magneto's there like, no, and Professor X fucking just powering on with this fucking beam.
Remember the Holocaust.
It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Out of context, it's incredibly funny.
In context, it's probably incredibly fucked up. Both.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking about like when 2 psychic people go to head there and they're just standing there, like everyone else is just standing there and they have their hand to their head and they're just ooh.
Yeah.
But in a lot of it, like in fictions, like big beams go across each other, or like described as they're mentally strong. But I felt one thing that does it really well. If you've ever seen Legion,
No.
they do mental battles really well in that where it's like very much in that dream kind of space, and they like really make you feel it. Like what's like they're having this like fight, and I
That's
like
fair.
it makes no sense, but like it kind of does in a weird way. I feel like that's the best kind of mental battle.
That's fair.
I do. There are also some very funny examples of like one-sided mental battles that I've seen, like people entering each other's minds. Netflix series, Key something.
Keys to the Kingdom?
No, shut the fuck up. Don't.
Do you mean Lock and Key?
Lock and Key. Lock and Key has some excellent, mental fuckery. Because minds are represented as very physical spaces, and there's a lot of bullshit that they get up to. There's like a bunch of keys that they have. They give a bunch of different powers, and the mind key is so overpowered so constantly.
Yeah, right.
Every single twist, the character who can't speak anymore, it's because his mind has been fucked up. The character that went missing, hiding in someone's brain. Like, it's just continuously that.
It's a good series. The third season kind of went off the fucking walker at the end.
I frothed that shit.
Nah, it was really good when it was in. I feel like the first couple of seasons were really interesting.
Oh, the first seasons were better, but I can never disrespect a series that heads towards the ramp at full speed. You can't expect them not to fucking take off when they've got the demons, the American fucking Civil War soldiers battalions.
That was the craziest thing.
It was so fucking funny.
When they brought the American Civil War.
They literally, he just walks up and he's just like, I'm here to fuck shit up.
He really does. And stop messing with my computer, dude. Go on.
He's fiddling.
But I still love how this demon entity of evil here to create hatred and hate just goes like, starts dating a girl and goes, well, maybe she's kind of cute.
I mean, fair.
Incredibly fucked.
Like a teenage girl. I'm like, what?
Speaking of fucked up battles, you got something else actually?
I
can do this pivot. I'm free pivot.
Okay. Yeah, I was supposed to wrap up my thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what the episode's about, isn't
that's
it?
What the
I'm
episode's
reviewing
about.
Brandon Sanderson books, and you guys have no idea
about League of Legends, baby.
Yeah. No!
It always, that the book maybe didn't hit right when you get to the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Character have been separated from another character or group of characters for a period of time. The end of the book, they come back together after having the whole book separated. You see a whole bunch of changes have happened with the characters you didn't get to look at the whole book, and you're like, damn, I kind of wanted to read that story.
The worst thing that I ever see in writing is just like, back in my childhood, I dated many a dragon, but that's a tale for another day. It's like, no, it's not. It's a tale for now. Tell me.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Again, when you hit so many books, when you write so many, one's got to be a stinker every now and then.
It's true.
Also, but that's not good enough, Brandon Sandy. That's why we want to invite you on the podcast.
You got to
Brandon
defend...
Sanderson. This is a formal invite.
You got to come and defend.
Actually, it's not a
Cytonic.
formal invite. It's a formal summons.
Yeah.
This is a demand. This is a subpoena.
You've been served.
we are serving. You must come on the podcast and answer for your crimes. And be rewarded for your good deeds.
However, speaking of crimes and bad fighting and stories that don't dismount well.
Yeah, Arcane, right?
Arcane!
Do not.
No. What?
Do not.
Do not?
Do not.
Do not?
Do not.
All right, fine. I'll pull up the other script. Today, I'll be talking about Tekken.
Tekken?
Tekken!
Tetris?
Tekken.
Street
Is
Fighter?
that old Minecraft mod pack?
Yes.
Who like the pipes and stuff?
Yeah. The pipes and stuff. My guy, you are not up to date with Minecraft mod packs. They've all got pipes in them.
The pipes and stuff.
Hey man, I only played Tekken Classic back in the day.
Tekken Classic was a banger. Listen, I'll never bash Cookie Factory. That shit was.
Oh yeah,
that was hot.
I played Tekken Factory for like 6 months when I was in France and I didn't have internet access.
Thankfully, I'm not
best thing in
talking
my
about Tekken. I'm talking about Tekken. Tekken, as it is technically called, or generally the accepted name in the West, which is Tekken. I thought it was Tekken for a while I was writing the script, but the Japanese is confusing. But thankfully, my partner knows some and corrected me and called me stupid, but that's fine.
I'm just Tekken.
It's one of the best-known fighting games of all time, having been created for the PlayStation 1, as well as arcades in 1994, with the newest release being out this January of 2024 with Tekken 8, meaning the series has now been out for 30 years, and boy, don't you guys know that I love an overcooked story.
Oh, yeah.
And
I haven't even heard of this game, so...
This is...
How have you not heard of Tekken?
No. This is a thing I touch on. Don't worry. First of all, I will mention it is developed by Namco, the creators of such classic games as Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaga, and Periscope, which they are original designers on.
The fuck is Periscope?
I'm so glad I literally have here Periscope. Thanks so much for asking.
I know one of those games you just said.
I hope it's Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Galaga and Dig Dug are both very classic
Galaga?
arcade games. It's the little spaceship one.
Haven't you
but
seen-
it's like Space Invaders, but not.
My two knowledge of Gallagher is from someone plays it in the Avengers and Tony Stark notices, and
Based.
and the movie Pixels.
Fuck yeah, dude.
From Adam Sandler.
Adam
movie.
Sandler, what a banger.
I watched that in cinema.
I'll be real. Adam Sandler, there's some stinkers in there, but sometimes you got to admire the guy running around in gym shorts the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
He will not be paid $1 under 10 million for each film, and he's going to wear gym shorts the whole fucking time.
He wears the baggiest clothes.
He wears the baggiest clothes. Isn't there that game? I can't remember. It's trying to identify whether it's Adam Sandler or I don't remember what it was. I think it's like recently divorced or Adam Sandler. Anyway, Periscope, thanks for asking, was a electromechanical game being a precursor to arcade games and the golden age of the 80s. Think halfway between like an arcade machine and a carnival game, like an electronic assisted game. Periscope was the best-selling version of this type of game at the time, with the gameplay being firing missiles, looking through a little periscope. Periscope was produced in 1965 by Namco, but they supposedly had very limited production capabilities, and it seems to have been stolen by Sega in 1966, who had much larger production capabilities and therefore manufactured it. It was also then stolen further by other English-speaking countries in the West, but generally for Japan, Sega and Namco both laid original claim, but also haven't. I've mentioned this because it's an important part of gaming history, because it kind of plays as part of this fall and rise of arcade and video games over the ages. I don't think that either company is going to make comment on it, though, because of business relationships. That's right, I'm going on a side tangent already. Fuck you guys. I don't think that either company is going to make comment about this due to the fact that Sega and Bandai, who Bandai are now merged with Namco, being Bandai Namco, which is their modern name, Bandai, once upon a time, was going to have a merger with Sega, which fell through, but they instead made a business alliance, which I don't know what the fuck that means, but oh well. So I think that because of the Namco and Bandai merger, Sega neither company wants to lay claim to it because they're essentially allies. It's really fucking weird. But I think that it's missing history, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can you
Interesting.
please pronounce it right?
Which one?
Sega.
Motherfucker.
What?
It's how it used to be, like the
Oh.
introduction of Sega.
That's the Sonic intro.
Yeah.
I've never
You've got
touched a
so
Sonic
much
game,
shit
dude.
missing, dude. Oh.
You know what the funniest thing about this?
Yeah?
When you said you weren't doing League today, I was like, oh, what are you doing? Like Street Fighter or Tekken? I literally thought that in my mind. I didn't say it. I literally thought
We should have
that.
said it because I don't believe you.
I mean, I was going.
Horseshit.
I literally thought about it.
Horse shit.
The thing went through my mind. It was one of those, you know when you like...
God, you smell that? That's
So-
definitely
we're
shite.
so mean.
You know when you are kind of thinking and like just thoughts are coming through your head, you're like, that one I'll say, that one I won't, that one I won't, that one I'll say.
No,
That's
I
how,
say-
I don't have that filter.
No?
It's all thoughts I have just come out.
Yeah, same.
I can tell. You do not.
None of this background industrial stuff is important to the main series, but leave it to say that industrial company history is a rabbit hole of mergers and deals. But I do mention this partially, at least, to ground Namco as a very old company with a lot of prestige, similar to Nintendo and Sega and others, a lot of the classic Japanese game industry. If you two are going to explode with laughter water, I'm going to do it now. Matt's pursed wet little lips looking at me, holding his shit together.
I needed a sip of water.
I'm glad.
I feel like Frozone in The Incredibles.
Fair enough.
Bit parched.
I mention this because they're a very old company. However, despite this, there isn't a lot of public recognition of the Tekken series, as proven by Jude.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, for the two fighters face-off arcade game, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken are usually kind of like the older three. There are a couple of others, but historically speaking, the two fighters face-off arcade-style game, Sega actually had the original one with Heavyweight Champ in 1976, which sucked. A lot of the other ones did as well. A lot of karate and kung fu ones, like Karate Champ, Yi Are Kung Fu, and Karateka. All of these did well enough to establish a genre, but we see our first main star of the modern era stepping into the ring in 1987 with Street Fighter 1, which was unabashedly the worst game in the series because the arcade game had buttons that required you to smack them or punch them, which I'm sure the noodly arm teens of the 80s really were like, I'm ready to punch this machine for 3 hours straight.
That sounds great.
I'll be honest. You're getting into character.
It sounds like a good kind of idea. Like, it sounds like on paper, I so get why they made it, but at the same time, like, I get why it bombed.
Their target audience at the time, yeah.
It'd feel really haptic, like you punch the machine and it punches the guy for you.
Exactly. However, learning from their mistakes, Capcom would massively improve with Street Fighter II, which established one of the classic best fighting game series in history, with such memorable things that everyone knows as Hadouken and Ryu and Chun-Li and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know Hadouken.
And so history goes on. Street Fighter has those. Mortal Kombat, you'd know Fatalities and Sub-Zero.
Yes.
Guilty Gear has Bridget. But what does Tekken have? What do either of you know from the Tekken series?
Is Tekken series the one where the guys, you killed my partner, you just threw my partner off the cliff? Is that Tekken?
There's a lot of that.
I just seen a cutscene where a guy throws someone off a cliff because he just saw his partner get thrown off a cliff.
So you've seen that, Jude?
I know a lot about Tekken. Yeah? I know that it's a game that was made by Namco. I know that neither of them really want to take credit for it.
Anyway, I appreciate the fact that the game has survived for 30 years with such a niche audience without a lot of public knowledge of the game. It's very interesting to me, which I think is a crime. Why is Tekken not more well known? There's a bear. There's 2 bears, in fact. And a panda, and also a kangaroo, and a velociraptor, who are all playable fighters.
You know panda is a bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a brown bear when I say bear.
Well, I think you should be clear. We shouldn't just say bear.
Let me be clear.
Yeah,
Obama meme. Why did I verbally quote the Obama meme? Jesus Christ, man.
We already established you have no filter. It's
Anyway, apologies for the background with the company timeline. I went on a couple sidetracks. I just wanted to document it here. I think video game history is important. I also think that establishing why Tekken's kind of not super well known.
Yeah. Question.
But,
is Ken Street Fighter?
Ken is Street Fighter.
Okay, I know nothing about
Tekken. To begin, we quote the truest source of lore, which is the first game. What do you want?
Stop knocking the table.
I'm smacking it. It's fine.
There is something's going to fall over.
Okay, that's your
Your
fault.
Red Bull is actively rocking.
I'm hosting. That's your problem. We quote the truest source of any game's lore, the manual. The manual.
Fantastic.
Quick note. This first game, the lore has undergone so many goddamn retcons and revisions. It is so hard to call any of this definitive. I've generally, on the scale of things, gone with the most recent or the one that I think makes the most sense.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh my god, I hate that when things just fucking don't make sense and you're just reading 2 laws that just can't fit together.
Yeah, totally. Whichever one of you thinks they can do a good announcer voice.
I can do it.
Absolutely.
You can do the next one.
Okay.
Baby doll.
Please never, ever look at me again.
I'm looking at you.
Read the fucking question.
Welcome to the Tekken Tournament, the world's most brutal and prestigious martial arts contest. Sponsored by Mishima Corporation, the name you can trust in financial management. The 8 pugilists remaining come from all over the world. At stake is the largest cash prize ever offered in a professional fighting competition. Yes! Stay tuned to discover who will finally be crowned the world's top fighter.
So that's it. Tekken's simple. That's
it. That's
nothing
the law.
hiding here. There's
Yeah, cool.
8 fighters, all of whom are just duking it out for some prize money.
That makes perfect sense.
Easy stuff.
Sponsored by Mishima.
Sponsored by Mishima Financial Group, which we will get to. We'll go over the fighters now. Again, quoting the first manual. I'm gonna speed through these because there's 8 of them. Ooh. First up, we have Kazuya Mishima, an arrogant loner. Kazuya is the eldest son of Heihachi Mishima, the distinguished head of the tournament sponsor, the Mishima Corporation. His appearance in the tournament is part of a long-term battle of wills with his father. He received a scar across his chest when his father dropped him into a ravine at the age of 5.
Damn, bro. He's living that Sparta life.
Did he mean to?
He did. That will become very clear very soon. Don't worry.
Oh, no. I have heard of this. I think it's a spoiler, but I've heard of this, like, father killing. Yeah.
It goes on. There's a next quote. This one's for a fighter named Paul Phoenix. If someone wants to grab another
Matt?
quote,
It's my turn.
Yep.
feel free for it.
What's okay, he's American.
Yes.
Howdy, folks. Paul is a hot-headed American fighter who understands and loves to practice martial arts. Paul views Kazuya, Kazuya?
Kazuya.
As his rival. As a previous fight with him ended in a draw. Their rivalry is one-sided, however. Kazuya doesn't fucking know he exists. Believing his true self exists in the heated battle, Paul partakes in his tournament looking for a stronger opponent.
Can I just interrupt with one quick thing?
Yeah.
That I think every listener needs to know just to appreciate the set a little better. So we send these quotes to each other on Facebook Messenger. And Matt clicks onto Facebook, and every time he does, at the top of his screen is Jared Leto's face. And I just keep looking over to Matt's
He
screen.
follows Jared Leto, and Jared Leto's posted the most fucked up photo I've ever seen.
It's a fucked up selfie.
I don't know why I have Jared Leto followed on Facebook.
You do. I can see it.
Don't know why. It's also David Tennant looking sad.
Yeah, but Jared Leto's taken. I love David Tennant, but the Jared Leto selfie.
Oh, that's actually David Tennant as well. That's his. That's.
That's actually David Tennant. Yeah.
I don't know.
Celebrity social media always fucks me up, especially when it's self-managed. You see those big ones like The Rock, and it's always just like his PR photos, and then you'll see fucking Jared Leto in bed doing the Joker face.
The Joker, baby.
Incredible. Our next fighter is King. If you'd like to take it, Jude.
Your turn, baby.
A mysterious masked wrestler. He is an outstanding young man who usually takes care of orphans. However, once he puts on his mask, he turns into an extremely strong masked wrestler who cannot be stopped by anybody. He is taking part in the tournament in order to get funds to fund an orphanage. In the past, he was an orphan himself and was taken in by a friendly family.
I'm a bit of an orphan myself.
Can I tell you the most insane thing about this?
Yep.
This character is based on a real dude. The guy,
What?
Sergio, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, but Sergio Gutierrez Benitez is a Mexican Catholic priest who founded and supported an orphanage for 23 years as a lucha libre wrestler.
That's incredible.
While performing, he wore only a red and yellow mask and used the ring name Fray Tormenta, which translates to Friar Storm.
Wow. That's incredible.
I really appreciate the wording of usually takes care of orphans, which implies two things from that. Either the majority of his time in his day is taking care of orphans. Like, that's the majority of stuff he does.
Yeah.
Or usually, sometimes he doesn't care about
I'll
it.
say-
Sometimes he just doesn't give a shit.
I like
Every single character in this story has a story, just not all of them are attached to the central story. Surprisingly enough, King has fuck all to do with the main story.
Yeah, 'cause
he's
too
literally
busy
just
looking-
doing his orphanage
He's too
shit.
busy looking after orphans, man,
It's
to get
so
worried about this
good.
shit. Also, there's two things here. If this is true and this is canon,
This is canon.
once he puts on his mask, he always wins. He cannot be stopped by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
No one can stop him. And why would you want to stop him? He's funding an orphanage.
Exactly. He's such a sweet guy.
Maybe that's why no one can stop him.
I will
It's the
say there
morals
is
to that
an
battle.
appearance of him in one of the later games that I adore because it's the name that he has is Armor King, and it's literally just him, but he put on a set of armor.
That's pretty sick.
It's fucking sick, dude. By Tekken 6, he figures out that if he puts on a suit of armor, he's better in the ring. Whoa. I know, right?
I
It's crazy.
was looking for the next dumb thing to have a fun law, and I didn't even think about fighting games. You're on a gold mine here. We barely started.
Can I be real with you? Do you know how I picked Tekken? And this is not an offense to any of the Tekken people out there. I've discovered that I love Tekken because of writing this. But the real way that I found this topic to write about was I typed in the insane lore of, and the first autofill was Tekken.
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty good.
Because
That's
I was
pretty
like, fuck, I really need like a cooked one. Because I've been going around my normal topics way
Yeah.
too much recently. I just need a fucked one. Anyway,
good.
I'm going to do
How many Tekken games are there?
8.
And
Well, 8 plus Tag Battle plus a couple of others.
plus Dark Resurrection and Tag Tournament 2?
Yes. There is also Street Fighter X Tekken. There's a couple of other ones. But the main ones we're going to be focusing on are Tekken 1 through 8. That's just
Yo, it just came out.
It did, January. That's what I said.
Whom's the next?
I will do next Nina Williams. Because she has learned assassination techniques and the art of kopu from her father, and aikido and self-defense techniques from her mother, Nina has a superior sense of combat. She's been commissioned to assassinate the tournament's sponsor, Heihachi Mishima. However, truth be told, she's having second thoughts about harming people.
What do you
mean? You're in a fucking fighting
She's
competition.
a fighting assassin. And she's just like, actually, I'm having second thoughts. Maybe I don't want to kill people.
Maybe I don't want to.
Incredible. Incredible behavior.
This is just
Very good.
like from all the context we've got so far, it's like it's UFC. And they put an assassin in UFC.
They did. You ready for the next one? This one's Russian.
Oh my god.
Oh, I get
His name is Jack, all capitals.
I got to do a Russian accent. Vladimir.
Don't be racist, but
It's
yeah,
not
go-
racist, it's Russian. A super slaughtering military machine and a super killing robot developed by the Soviet Union. The Russian military got wind of Kazuya's tournament coup d'etat?
coup d'etat.
Coup d'etat plans right away.
Right away. We've gone South American.
I went from Russian to Christopher Walken real quick.
Soviet Union. Plans right away.
I lost it again.
just throw it.
It's right away that's throwing you. Right away.
It's sent Jack into the
Send Jack to the tournament to get rid of him. Nothing but a robot could boast his violent attacks, and it's been dubious.
Stupendous.
We didn't make one of those memes. It's like Matt pronounce a word right or draw 25 cards.
I could cook up a list.
Spend dubious power.
Spend dubious power. Spend dubious power.
Okay, I'd like to know I got 3 hours of sleep last night.
No, so fair, bestie.
No fucking way. Like, I've seen the first 3 words of the next one.
Can I be real? Can I be real? This is the normalest dude out of the bunch.
What do you mean?
His name is martial law.
Also, can we just appreciate we've gone from a wrestler to an orphan
It gets worse.
to an assassin, and now we have just a robot. I didn't know that was legal. I didn't know we were allowed to
A
put
robot?
He's a robot.
Yeah, Russian guy's a robot.
The Russian
Oh,
guy's
the Russian guy is a robot, yeah.
I didn't know that was legal. You can just put a robot in.
It's the world's greatest fighters is the idea.
So, yeah, no limits.
No limits.
I'm going to bring a gun. I'm the
I'll be
best.
real, that works surprisingly not as often as you'd think. They try it.
Okay,
Alright.
your turn, Jude.
The legendary dragon. He works in a Chinatown restaurant in San Francisco while dreaming of opening his own martial arts school. He is a master of martial arts. He is taking part in this tournament to open his own school with the prize money and at the same time to make himself world famous.
He's so fucking normal, dude.
He's just a dude?
He's a fighter who enters it to... I believe it's because he's based on... Oh, fuck. I'm forgetting this guy's name.
Is he actually a dragon?
No, he's not actually a dragon. He's just his title is the...
Okay, then there's nothing here that says he's not a dragon.
Yeah. There is technically nothing there that shows he's not a
given we
dragon.
just had a literal robot?
Yeah, I'm willing to take a
Yeah.
dragon at this point. Like, would not be surprised.
He is... Give me 2 seconds. Based on... he's also broke, by the way, just FYI.
Bruce Lee?
Yes, I think it's Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's based on a famous fighter.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
probably Bruce Lee.
Michelle Chang is next.
Mm-hmm.
This wandering fighter is the daughter of a Native American woman and a Hong Kong man sent by Heihachi Mishima to find an ancient treasure on Native American land.
Cool.
Getting some hints that the Mishima Corporation's up to some shit. Eventually, on her 18th birthday, she hears from her mother that her father has been killed by Heihachi's men. She is taking part in the tournament to take revenge on Mishima.
Okay.
So pretty normal.
I
At this point, pretty normal.
I like how there's like this group of people doing their own shit, like the assassin and this person, and then there's just the people who just are here to fight.
You're gonna not enjoy this next one. This one's name is Yoshimitsu.
Uh-huh.
Read the description, Jude or Matt,
It's
or
my
whoever's
turn.
next.
Yeah.
A ninja from space! Also, head of the World Theft Ring, the Maji Group. The Maji Group steals from people who profit from dishonest activities. They are a group of Robin Hoods who return things to the poor people, while taking part in the tournament from himself as a decoy. His purpose is to have his subordinates steal the operating funds of the tournament.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
I like how we know that as well.
Can I also be real with
Everyone's
you?
aware. Everyone's aware.
I said that I am quoting these because they're in the first manual, and that is entirely true. The ninja from space thing never comes up again.
So he's just from space.
Yes. Technically, by the
Does he
sixth,
look like
by
an
the
alien?
He looks like a fully armored character. From what I'm aware, he was based on some TV shows that were being produced at the time, and he later shows up in Soul Calibur games. So I think he's kind of a cross-game reference. He never takes his mask off. He's definitely a human, confirmed by the game's director. So I don't know why it technically doesn't say he's not a human. It just says he's a ninja from space.
In my mind, that implies alien.
Technically not an alien. Not even technically, he's a human. We know that for a fact. By Tekken 6, we know that space has been colonized. So I don't know if that's true by Tekken 1, but also, who knows what the fuck
What do
is...
you mean space has been called?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This game
All
goes...
we know is there's a fighting
This game
ring.
goes places, my guy. We're not even into the first game story.
Okay, yeah, I know, but can we appreciate that this guy came down to Earth and went, "Fuck this thing. The people have too much money," which is kind of base, and just started
Incredibly based space ninja.
and just started stealing from people by going to tournaments.
Can I be real? He shows up in every single game, and his goal never changes. He is only ever here to steal shit. Incredibly based.
Same man.
So
Oh, is that all of them?
that's all of them. That's the
Oh,
eight.
fuck.
That's
Okay,
the
cool.
8 fighters.
Nice.
There are no more.
There are no more. So there's only 8 in the first game. So you can think about it like it's the original arcade game, 1994.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
limited arcade
You're
game.
very normal characters. You're wrestler. You're American. You're Russian robot.
Strange robot
You're
man.
ninja from space.
Yeah.
So despite being an arcade or PS1 game, surprisingly, surprise, surprise, it doesn't have a ton of story despite what is hinted at here for the first game canonically. Luckily, we have a bunch of sequels that go further into whatever the fuck all that was. For the first few games, though, we only have to worry about a small amount of the canon lore, with the first fighter mentioned, Kazuya Mishima, being our focus for this first game, despite the fact that he is one of the most boring characters on the roster. So it seems.
Ah.
As
He was
well,
the first one, right? The owner's son.
he was the very first one, the owner's son,
the one that
correct?
was thrown down a cliff when he was 5.
Correct.
That's not the most boring one. That is the American.
That's true. Actually, the American ends up fighting a war god at one point. Don't worry about it. For the first few games, blah, 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 blah. I'll elaborate on things in the order that they are elaborated on in the game generally, because otherwise this opening would technically involve an ancient family curse and an imprisoned grandfather, which we're not up to yet. We're not there yet.
Sure.
Moving on. The story...
Sure.
Accept it, Matthew. You're in my prison
You
now.
just have to accept.
The story begins around 21 years before the Tekken tournament, which, for a note, I mention it, I alternate using them. Tekken, which is the technical name is Tekken, it's 2 separate words, which mean Iron Fist in Japanese, because the tournament is called the Tournament of the Iron Fist.
Cool.
It's my favorite Marvel character.
So Tekken tournament is, sure, what?
The Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is a Marvel character.
He's a Marvel character.
Do you expect me to know things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
There's a bad TV show about him.
Fuck yeah. So, the story begins around 21 years before the King of the Iron Fist tournament takes place, with Kazuya being trained by his father Heihachi in their family's Mishima martial arts style. His father owns the Mishima Financial Group, which we've mentioned, a massive multinational conglomerate which was founded by Heihachi's father, Jinpachi. We'll talk about him later. The company seems to have been a weapons manufacturer during World War II, among other things, because they are a multinational conglomerate. So they it's one of those things like where you find out like Disney has cruise ships, where it's just like, oh, they do that too. It's like, okay, cool.
Why not? Yeah.
So
exactly.
Mishima Financial Group does a lot of shit, but it seems to have generally been weapons because of the amount of money they made during World War II. The company, after the war, then Jinpachi, the father of Heihachi, decides that he wants to take it in a more peaceful direction. He's had enough of war. He wants to focus on his own martial arts style, the Mishima family art style, focus and train harder. However, Heihachi decides to take the company over from his father in a coup, as Jinpachi is distracted at the time, and Heihachi believes he can do a better job around the company. Heihachi then reinvigorates the focus on military development, because he's a rat, as we'll find out.
Fantastic.
So like the plot of Iron Man 1. Yeah, got it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched that movie in so long, dude.
Well, except the father part. There's no father.
That exact. No,
Dead.
actually, I do remember. Yes,
He
exactly
just
what you're
takes
talking
over and
about.
they want to go military. But like it's like it's if the evil guy won.
Exactly,
In Iron
exactly.
Man.
And then just straight back into military development. Yeah.
Is the guy just meditating on a mountain somewhere? Where's his dad?
So his dad, when he gets coup overthrown, is disappeared. We'll say for the time being.
Okay, he's down another ravine. He's going to go.
Kind of. Heihachi then is focusing on the company, but also has his son, Kazuya, who at the time is 5. Heihachi believes that Kazuya is too weak to be his successor, and as such, after a brief fight, throws him into a ravine, which is crazy he's beefing with a 5-year-old.
That's fucking wild.
Okay, was this the second person we throw into a very...
No,
No, this is
first
the main
person. This is
person.
Kazuya. This is the same person who got thrown into the ravine.
Okay, so that was the grandfather of the guy who got thrown into a ravine, was the guy who got overthrew, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool.
So we've got 3 generations so far. So far.
3 generations of assholes.
3 generations of
Well,
assholes.
the kid's 5, so we don't know yet.
You'd be surprised. Kazuya barely survives this incident, but, fueled by hatred for his father, climbs out of the ravine.
He's 5.
He's 5.
Okay.
That's nuts.
He enters the tournaments years later. He does seem to then live with his father. I researched this because to me it doesn't make any fucking sense because it says he enters the tournament in secret, which doesn't make any sense if he's living with his dad, who is organizing the tournament. But also in the first manual, it says his hobby is collecting sneakers. So it's obvious he's not like financially in any burden.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is he up to? Who knows? He must have lived with his father.
Yeah.
It only makes sense that way, but also that's fucking crazy. Anyway,
He's like, what are you doing there, Dad? Oh, the tournament. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
so he enters as a competitor, and by the end of the first game, he eventually wins the tournament, which ends with a fight with his father Heihachi, who is the final boss of the first game, fighting one-on-one before then throwing his father into the same ravine that his dad threw him into. This is what you were talking about before.
Oh,
Good on
yeah.
you. There's people throwing each other in ravines.
Yep.
He then gains the winnings from the tournament, as well as the owner of the Mishima Financial Group from his most likely dead father. That's the story of Tekken 1. Nice and
So
easy.
wait, so his father threw him in the ravine,
When he was 5, correct, because he didn't believe he was strong enough.
and then he went, "Nah, no, you," and threw his father down the ravine to kill him.
21 years later, yes.
he die?
Fantastic.
Probably.
Okay.
Got thrown into a ravine. That's crazy. You can't live. You can't survive being thrown into a ravine.
Yeah, what the fuck you on
What
about,
the
man?
fuck,
What the
man?
fuck,
This
man?
seems like a very shallow ravine of a 5-year-old, so I think anyone else can.
I'll be
Also-
real. There are clips of it. It genuinely is like Grand Canyon-esque. Wow, it's fucked up, dude.
Also, I want more fighting tournaments. When you win the tournament, you have to fight the CEO of the company.
It's so good, right?
said-
I think that the CEOs should be pugilists. I think they should be able to hand-on-hand combat.
I
Fucking
think-
Team Fortress 2 has the same idea.
It's true.
Saxon Hale has a thing in his contract where he's like, anyone who can beat me in a fight gets the company. And
Yeah.
so then one of his enemies gives him like a 5-year-old to fight. And then he's like, I can't fight a little girl. And he's like, guess why I win then?
Yeah.
There
that
needs
was
to be
funny.
more. There needs to be more tournaments that has like a final boss. Like once you win the tournament, you have to beat the final boss. You're like,
Yeah.
it's like, wait, you're not getting your prize money until you beat me.
Yeah, exactly. No, Tekken's really good with that. It
There
does
needs
that.
to be more of that.
It does that a lot. So you'll be getting your fill here.
I love it.
Anyway, so that's the first story of the story
yeah.
of the first Tekken. It's a nice little base for an arcade game, for a PlayStation 1 game. It was, it's enough.
Yeah.
It's a family feud, people throwing each other in ravines, it's bagging. Anyway,
Okay.
Tekken 2 we move on to. I will kind of speed through these because there are a bunch of them.
Yep.
Tekken 2. 2 years have passed since the first Tekken tournament, and not one to be outdone by his father. Kazuya has proceeded to continue to make Mishima Financial Group even more powerful and evil, reaching tendrils around the world. However, a rumor has started that Kazuya has a dark side, beyond the fact that he's the head of the Mishima Group, who are known war profiteers and other things.
The worst.
The worst. One day, there are missives sent from the HQ of the company announcing the Iron Fist Tournament 2, with the Mishima Company being part of the prize.
As in the ownership of the company. as well.
Correct. I don't know why they put it on the line so constantly, but they do it a lot. You don't need to constantly put the company up to... You can just give people money.
I'll be honest. He got no punishment for throwing his father in a ravine?
He won the
took over.
fight.
Okay, that's just. Is it Black Panther rule? If you kill them, you get to be king.
Kind of.
Okay.
For the rest of this, it seems like it. Hey, listen, I've only been to Japan for a little while. I don't know how things work over there.
Honestly, I saw this. Actually, it happened quite a bit when I was there.
Fair enough.
Saw a lot of kids getting thrown in ravines.
Yeah, fair.
Heihachi, not one to be outdone by his son, also survived being thrown off the cliff and climbed out and re-entered the tournament.
Oh my god.
That was very quick.
And eventually
he came back very quick.
is facing off with Kazuya in the final round. We're kind of skipping it because it's the arcade game, so it kind of just jumps to this point.
Yo, all these other guys are shit. How is he beating a robot?
I will say the core story of Tekken is called the Mishima Family Feud.
Yeah.
So essentially we're focused on the Mishima guys and not much else. There is other things kind of going on in the background, but a lot of them are either stub stories or like not a lot. This is the only continuous lore background, and it does affect a lot of the lore later on.
Did you say Family Feud?
Yeah?
Steve Harvey in this?
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, Heihachi is Steve Harvey.
And what's the best place to put your son? Ravine! Show me Ravine!
Show me Ravine! So good.
Ravine for 10 points.
All right. Eventually, he faces off with Kazuya in the final round of the Tekken 2 tournament. Here, he beats Kazuya because it's a fucking trading hands. We're back and forth. And he's triumphant in his victory until his son stands once again. He's now purple.
What?
With large devilish wings and horns on his head, having used his devil powers which he inherited from his mother.
Has his mother been mentioned once?
No. Heihachi then in canon, I'm going to mention, I say in canon a lot about the fights because it's video game. There are endings where the other characters win. And specifically there are like cutscenes and stuff that happen, but in canon there is a who won history.
Yeah.
So it's worth mentioning, canonically, Heihachi then defeats the devil version of his son before throwing him
Into the ravine!
into a volcano.
Oh!
I don't know how they got to the volcano. The final fight is not next to a volcano.
He carried him.
Sure. Heihachi
So Dad's come back.
Dad's come back,
Dad's
re-entered
beat
the
me
tournament.
up and then throw me into a volcano.
No, I turned into a devil and then he beat me again and then he threw me into a volcano, not a ravine.
Okay, question as well.
Go.
In this game, apologies if you said it and I missed it.
No.
Are you playing as the father?
You can play technically as whoever, but yes, the main character, whoever is the winner of that story is the person you are playing as most of the time in canon.
Gotcha.
First game Kazuya, second game Heihachi.
I'm liking this more and more because it seems like every time the villain is the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean pretty much.
which sounds right.
I'll be real. That I think is true of most of the games, if I'm not wrong.
Also, can we just say...
Yes.
I think the real power is not demon, having your mum being a demon or whatever the fuck that was. It's being chucked into a ravine gives you powers because every time they come out of the ravine, they win.
I'll be real. You're not entirely wrong.
This seems there's a correlation between
that kind of is
being
a
thrown
very
into a
minor
ravine
spoiler for later on.
and then just
Interesting.
winning every fight.
Interesting.
Heihachi then obviously throws him into the volcano and then flies away, dangling from a helicopter, smiling at the camera.
That's sick.
Which is the
That's
ending
a great-
cutscene of that
that is
thing.
a great cutscene.
How the fuck they got to the volcano, I don't know.
What's his name again? How you spell it?
Heihachi. Heihachi.
Oh my god, he looks.
He's the
sick.
most intense.
Okay,
He's the
does look
most
pretty sick.
intense looking old man
Holy
of all
shit.
time.
Can I describe this man?
Go for it.
He looks like J.K. Simmons, but he's really, really buff. He's got a bald head. He's got all grey. He's got the J.K. Simmons kind of mustache, with grey and with grey eyebrows, and then he's got the best hair of all
He's
time.
got like the Wolverine hat hair, but it's like just grey.
and it's missing in the middle.
And it's
all
bald in the middle.
He's steaming as well.
It's
He is
like he's
steaming.
instead. If you had big elf ears, but they're not ears, they're just hair.
Yeah. And I think his arm looks bigger than my whole torso.
Oh my god, he's so
He's
buff.
so fucked up. Go to the first one. You can see how ripped he is.
He's so ripped.
He deserves to be a CEO.
He does. I mean, he won the position fair and
Yeah,
square.
Honestly, throw me in a ravine if this is what happens.
Exactly. To get ahead of the devil explanation, the devil power thing, as of this point, the current explanation as of this game is that Kazuya made a deal with the devil, which is not the whole truth, but we don't find that out until Tekken 4/7. 4 clarifies it, 7 revises it, so it is what it is. Yeah, he does do that.
Can I ask a quick
Matt
question?
pulled up a thing with Heihachi standing on top of a helicopter.
Heihachi standing on an Apache.
Heihachi on an Apache.
Yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense, actually.
I need to ask.
Go.
In Tekken 2,
Yes.
so Dad replaces son.
Correct.
Are the other 7 player characters the same?
No, there are additional characters added as time goes on. It's just that the roster changes so often and there are so few characters that have strong impact on the story during the first couple that I figured it wasn't worth it.
That's fair.
All of the 8
That's
from
good.
the original game end up being in the later games.
Fantastic.
So a lot of them get carried over. A couple of them have some endings, but for example, fucking martial law trying to get money to open his school, is there every single tournament and is broke every single time.
Damn,
he
he's trying.
he never gets his money.
He's trying so hard.
That's so sad.
It's very bad. Yeah, no, it's they definitely should have done something about him.
Yes.
Anyway, that's
Yes.
Tekken 2 done. We've thrown the other
Fantastic.
guy into a volcano now. Okay, Tekken 3. During Tekken 2, we meet a new fighter, which is one of the new people, called Jun Kazama. She is a wildlife surveillance officer for the WWWC, which I've Googled repeatedly, does not have a canonical translation, but I assume it's
Sure.
wildlife fun something something.
Yep.
Except there's no F in the fucking word. Who falls in love with Kazuya. Despite how dangerous he is, and as well as the manual specifically saying that she fights in the tournament so she can arrest Kazuya because he's smuggling animals for biological experiments.
Okay.
When did he start doing that?
Because he's head of the Mishima Corporation at the time.
Okay, is he doing it personally?
Yeah, not technically, but like it's his company. He's probably
true.
he probably knows about it.
That's true.
So she's there to arrest him, but instead falls in love with him.
She can do both.
Despite this, she becomes pregnant at some point during the tournament, which canonically is the only time it could have happened during the Tekken 2 tournament, because that's the only overlap that they have before Kazuya gets thrown in a volcano.
To be fair, that actually makes a lot of sense because they say like at the Olympics, like
The
a lot-
Olympic anti-sex
yeah,
bed.
the Olympic, a lot of people like it's all in like there's a lot of testosterone and stuff going around, you know.
There's a lot of very fit people in a very small space.
Exactly. Look at these guys.
Ew,
Stop
cooties.
showing me the fucking PS1 graphics. That's King.
Who the fuck is this guy?
That's the Lucha Libre wrestler.
Oh, that's his mask.
That's the orphan guy.
Okay, he's got. By the way, guys, he's wearing a big cheetah mask.
It's a big cheetah mask, yeah. And that's Yoshimitsu, the space ninja.
Yep.
And that's Jack. Sorry, there's a
Is
photo
that the
that we've got
robot?
on
Is that
here.
the Russian robot?
That's the Russian robot.
Oh my god, he's
Oh my
hot.
god, he's pretty hot.
You rat.
I literally thought there was just a cheetah man, but he's just the Russian. the
No, it's
wrestler.
King. It's the guy, yeah.
It's the wrestler.
No, exactly. It's
this
great.
This is crazy.
It's crazy.
That's our main character, right? That's Kazuya.
No, that's martial law. I don't think Kazuya's on here. That's random.
Damn.
No, Kazuya doesn't seem to be here.
Okay.
Oh, well, also because he's the final boss. These are the playable
these
characters
are playable
in Tekken
characters.
2.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sorry.
By the
Anyway,
way, they're just all ripped classic fighter people.
I mean, they are the 8 greatest fighters on the planet.
yeah.
Which is insane also because some of them have like normal jobs. Like working in a Chinese restaurant.
It's not a very good industry right now.
It's not a lot of work going on. Anyway, Jun Kazama has fallen in love with Kazuya and becomes pregnant. She becomes pregnant at some point during the tournament, blah, 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 and has Kazuya's son, who she calls Jin. However, she raises him away from the Mishima family, hoping to avoid him ever becoming involved with the family's bullshit.
hoping to help avoid him being thrown into a ravine.
Generally, the ravine being avoided would be good. She also teaches him her family's martial arts style, which is the Kazama self-defense style, a much more defensive style. Obviously, the Mishima style, if you ever watch the Mishimas fight, they throw fucking hands.
Yeah.
There is no defense in their technique. It's all fist, baby.
Oh my god.
Years pass, and Heihachi continues his family business of being evil and creates the Tekken Force, a group of strong fighters used as a sort of private army, because Mishima Corps does what it wants. He sends them out looking for, quote, great sources of power. A quick mention, I'm pretty sure Tekken 2 and 3 have a gap of like 20 years, 10 to 20 years. So there's a period of time here where Heihachi's in control.
How old is Heihachi at this point?
I don't fucking know, like 800.
He's
He's not legitimately 800. He's old, though.
He's gonna be an old man.
I
at this
think that
point.
he's because Jin is 26. I think he would be like 50-ish.
Wait, can I go back in time again?
Yes.
Sorry.
Not Jin. Kazuya's 26.
Kazuya.
Kazuya's the son.
Didn't Kazuya get chucked in a volcano?
He did.
When did he come back? Did I miss that?
He didn't come back. He's in the volcano. He's dead.
Who did the lady have sex with?
Kazuya
He-
during the
before-
tournament.
during
That's
the
what I was
tournament.
saying.
June 2 before he got chucked in the
Yeah,
volcano.
That was the Olympics
That's why it
discussion.
has
It
to
was
be.
happening during the
Yeah.
tournament.
Okay. Sorry, I thought we were at the third tournament. We're still at the second.
We're heading towards the third
Okay,
tournament.
we're at this, okay. Oh my god.
Anyway, so the years pass, looking for great source of power. Eventually, tipped off and find an ancient being locked in a temple in Central America, which is what the Native American / Hong Kong woman was for in the first game, if you remember her.
Yeah, she took 20 years to find it. Nice.
She did. She might have known about it and hinted towards it. Not clear. This is Ogre, who most people declare as the god of fighting. But the manual claims is the Native American legends say that he is a war weapon from outer space left on Earth in ancient times.
That's
Is that
fucking
why the
sick.
Space Ninja's here? He's here to get his.
He's
butt-
actually, can I be real? Space Ninja and Ogre are completely unrelated. Have nothing to do with each other at any point in the story, as far as I'm aware.
That's like when there's a clip from the animated TV show from Justice League
Yeah.
where Alien speaks language and Wonder Woman looks to Superman and is like, "Hey, that's right, be better." We're not all aliens.
Not all aliens.
Not all aliens. But he's like, I actually do know what he's saying. But shut up.
Fucked up. Ogre's main goal seems to be absorbing strong souls, or as what seems to correlate, strong martial artists, because that seems to be the exact same thing in this universe.
It's way more about muscles.
It's way more about muscles than it is soul, but the more muscles you have, the more soul you can fit in you.
That's it.
That's true.
As these attacks grow in number on these fighters around the world that Ogre is surprise attacking, Jin's mother, Jun, finally tells him about his family history, the Mishimas, which she's shielded him from thus far, and tells him to find his grandfather Heihachi if anything should happen to her. So
No, don't go near him.
if it's the option between abandoning this child or giving him to a guy who you know has the financial aid to be able to help him, if nothing else,
That's tough.
How old is the son?
5-ish.
Okay.
Like a child.
You said
legitimate
20
child.
years had passed. So
20. Actually, that's a good point. I think maybe 10. I'm not 100%
Still,
on
he's
this.
still a child. I thought he was
He's
like
still
20.
he's definitely a child.
I'm like, at 20, you can just go.
No, he's definitely a child because something happens in a moment. Give me a second.
Okay.
If anything should happen, he should go to Heihachi. Right on cue a couple days later, Jin and Jun are attacked at their home, with Jin being knocked out and Jun disappearing, most likely killed and absorbed by Ogre.
I don't think you should ever, like, say, if anything happens to me, blah, blah, blah.
The exact moment you say that.
Yeah, because it's going to happen.
Death
Like,
sentence.
You just, it's like, you got to touch wood after that. You got to touch wood.
I would love to see a TV series where, like, first episode, the dad's just like, son, if I ever go missing, I need you to find the ancient treasure. You'll know what I mean when it happens. And then never finishes. Chekhov's
Leave that-
non-gun.
I would like
Chekhov's
that to
dad.
happen.
Leave Chekhov's dad.
I would
Chekhov's
like,
rain check.
I would like that to happen, but the dad doesn't go missing. But instead, what he does, he like gets stuck coming home from work and is like a couple hours
The
late.
son's just like
and the son's
busting
like,
open.
I must begin my adventure.
I must find the ancient treasure.
And then the dad gets home and he's like, fuck, I'm so sorry I'm late, son.
Where'd he go?
His son's just like powered up in the corner. Going Super Saiyan.
He's gone and he sees the son like in the headlines the next day.
Incredible.
Oh, my God. I'm just thinking, like, you know, there's a one kind of example of it happens.
Sorry, I found it. Jin was 15.
15. Oh, yeah, he probably still needs a parent at 15.
Yeah.
In this economy,
In
yeah.
this
But I was thinking, like, oh, brain, can you work a little bit? Ben 10 is an example of like the he knows more than he knows, and he just doesn't die. He's just like there and he tells them about it.
What the fuck was that? What are you talking about?
do you
Okay.
He knows more than he
Ben
thought
10.
he does, and then he tells them.
Ben 10's a good example
10's
of how he
grandpa.
knows what he
Is it
knows
is
and
it
doesn't
grandpa?
die. You talking about Uncle Ben?
Oh,
No,
okay.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
Are you talking about Uncle?
No, Grandpa.
Grandpa Max.
Grandpa
yeah,
Max,
Grandpa Max. Yeah, he like disappears.
You
for a
did the
little
Ben
bit.
10 episode.
He disappears for a little bit, but he's like doesn't die.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, so then Ben's just like, I'm gonna do alien shit, and then
Grandpa helps him.
Max comes back and is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Grandpa Max is like used to be a space cop, but that's a different.
That's entirely true.
that's
Hey, that's
okay.
another
He was
episode
a
you should
plumber.
check out.
Yeah. Oh my God, you know about Ben 10?
Of course I do.
What do you mean? Of course you do.
You did an episode about it.
Yeah, we didn't talk about plumbers.
I mean, I just know Ben 10.
Just know Ben 10.
How do you know Ben 10?
So I've watched some Ben
We all
10.
watched Ben 10 when we were
No,
kids.
no. Well, this is important because Drew didn't watch TV shows when he was a kid.
He did. He
didn't
watched
watch-
Scooby Doo.
That's true, but that's
And
the
Ben
only
10.
show I ever knew. Now I watch. Now I know the second. All I knew is Ben. Drew
And Lord
watched
of the Rings, the
Scooby-Doo.
extended edition on repeat.
That's what I'm thinking. I didn't know you. That's added to the
Ben 10.
Jude law in my brain. Look at that.
I watched Pokemon as well.
You fucking get out of here.
Get out of town.
The
You watch
hell?
Pokemon?
What the hell?
Yeah, we watched Pokemon together when we were
Yeah,
children.
the only time you watched it when you came to my house.
I watched it in my own
It
time as well.
counts.
There you go. Interesting.
Go
I'm
on.
learning so much about you today.
Anyway. Jun killed by the ogre.
Yes.
Jin now going to find Heihachi.
Yes.
Yeah, he did, his mum did a Ned Stark. Next time I see you, I'll talk about your mother.
Yeah.
That's a reference I don't get, so sure.
Yeah.
Heihachi. Jin then goes to Heihachi as requested by his mother, begging him to teach him martial arts so that he might be able to kill Ogre. Heihachi recognizes that the power that Ogre has, obviously being the one who fucking awakened him, and plans to train Jin in order to use him to lure Ogre out of hiding. And also, partially by accumulating a bunch of fighters together, perhaps for another tournament.
What's the best way? What's the best way to get a bunch of fighters together to lure this big god in?
Exactly. So 4 years later, at the age of 19, Tekken 3 takes place. I don't know why there's a 4-year gap. Don't ask.
He had to plan it. It's a lot of effort going into the Ultimate Fighting tournament. It's a lot of planning. How? Can I question?
Yo.
Also, one, you got to age up Jin a little bit so we can beat him up.
Jin's 19.
Yeah, exactly. He was 15, so we had to age him up a little bit so we can beat him up.
He's got to have training time.
Yeah, exactly.
That montage has got to go somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Also, did he just like, I'm your son from this, I'm your grandson from this, and she's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Heihachi,
Just believe it.
he has a lot of faults. The man has a lot of faults.
Yeah.
He's surprisingly accepting of random children, as is proven later in the series.
Maybe the orphan guy is rubbing off on him.
Yeah, perhaps. He's just, I mean, to be fair, he often just sees the kids who come to him as just like, you'll be a good fighter. I'll abuse you for 4 years, and then I'll use you to lure an ogre out, a giant ancient god of fighting out of the
You
shadows.
say kids, I'm worried. There's going to be more.
There's later. Don't worry about it.
There's more children coming.
Tell us about the third tournament, guys.
The third tournament takes place. It's the fighting game, insert fighting game here. Ho, 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 ho.
I know it's bad, but I got the Mortal Kombat thing. I'm like, dun.
Yeah, perfect.
Mortal Kombat.
Well, as said, yeah, it has more memorable bits and pieces, so I don't blame you for that. At the height of the tournament, Paul Phoenix is in a fight that just finished when Ogre appears.
Oh my god.
Paul Phoenix, go
Paul Phoenix squares up with Ogre and fucking wins.
Oh, nice.
However, defeating Ogre reveals his true final form, revealing True Ogre.
What do you mean, True Ogre?
True Ogre. That's the final form. Ogre has two different forms. One's just kind of like a big bull-looking guy, and then the next one's like a bigger bull with horns and wings and shit.
This isn't even my final form.
As a quick mention, in canon, he loses this fight, but if you do win it on the console version, his final cutscene, like his win cutscene, is him driving down a rural highway on a motorbike where he then illegally overtakes a semi-truck and then gets pulled over by the cops. Not a joke.
Wait, Paul Phoenix?
Paul Phoenix. That's his ending cutscene.
You may be able to defeat a god. You may be able to defeat a god twice, but you can't escape the law.
You can't escape the police.
Yeah. So Paul Phoenix beats Ogre, and then Ogre's true form.
And then Ogre's true form comes out, but then Ogre's true form beats Paul Phoenix.
No!
Can we appreciate that just an American guy beat a god?
Yeah.
Okay.
The fighters in this tournament, I don't know how to describe it. I would describe, how do I say? Like, you know, how do I say this? Like The Boys, where like some of the mutants are just like on a different level.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah.
Or like One Punch Man, heroes versus everyday citizens. Like they're just on a different level, baseline. Even the most baseline like Class A hero can get shot and be like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another day on the road.
Exactly. Most of these fighters are like that.
Okay. Yeah. Like in The Boys, every single superhero is reasonably bullet resistant.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
had soup this morning, and now I gotta fight a god. You know, meet me high
Fucking
noon.
Campaign 1 vibes. Moving on.
Yep. So what happens to Paul Phoenix? Does he die?
He fucking dies.
No!
No, he doesn't legitimately fully die. I don't actually know what happened. I think Ogre just leaves him on the ground. I don't know why. He should have absorbed his whole soul, but also Paul's back in later games, so...
His name is Paul Phoenix.
You're
right.
so right, actually, though. Oh my god.
Just because he dies doesn't mean he's not going to rise again.
So yes, nonetheless, True Ogre finishes off Paul. But I think what does happen is that he actually gets interrupted by another fighter. Jin steps into the ring to take on True Ogre. Jin manages to beat both Ogre in his reverted form, then True Ogre again. So
he powered down.
So he powered down after fighting Paul Phoenix. So then Jin fights normal Ogre and then powers up again, and then Jin beats True
Seems like
Ogre.
a lot of work.
It is a lot. And as he stands truly victorious over the now beaten god, he's shot by a firing squad.
Wait, Jin is?
No! Gets shot. Specifically being killed by Heihachi wielding a gun.
Wait, you said a firing squad. Is there multiple?
There's like Tekken Force members around him, like helping, but specifically Heihachi. The rest of them are in like fucking riot gear, and Heihachi's just there bare chest with a gun. It's incredible.
This is how we do it in my
watching the
hometown,
cinematics
Jin.
for this fucking thing was incredible. There was never a time when I was fully ready for what happened. Because I saw on the wiki, it's like, Heihachi shot Jin. And I was like, that's crazy. What the fuck does the scene look like? And it's literally just bare chest Heihachi, just fucking boom.
What sort of gun? Does it have a Glock? This is a Glock?
I think it's like a Magnum or something. I don't know. Don't worry, though. However, Jin, being a descendant of Kazuya, can tap into the devil power and rises again with markings on his face.
Fuck off.
Kills everyone in the firing squad before throwing his grandfather out of the temple down the wall. There's so much shit of people throwing. It's so.
Honestly,
Does Kazui, not Kazui, Heihachi.
Heihachi?
Does Heihachi end up in a ravine this time?
No, he just ends up off. So they're in a temple. He
Okay.
throws him through the wall and he like falls down
Yeah,
the
okay,
temple.
that's cool.
good.
He lives that.
Jin then flies.
What? No way. Shoot.
Spreads his devil wings and flies off into the night sky, and we see Heihachi sit up slowly and watch him heading off into the sky. And that's the end of Tekken 3.
That's incredible.
No one can finish anyone off, I swear.
No one, they're all indestructible.
This game is just edging.
It is. It genuinely is. Okay, Tekken 4. Are we ready? Good?
Yep.
Any questions? Go, what's
I
up?
think we just need to take a slight second and go. His grandfather brought him in
Uh-huh.
to lure in a god, not even kill it.
Yep.
He ended up doing more than that. He killed the god, so he shot him in the fucking head.
I also appreciate he just had a battle with the awakened god of fighting and gets killed by bullet.
Well, you know what they say. Don't bring a fist to a gunfight.
So real, so real.
I was reading a quote. It was like a coward brings a gun to a sword fight, and it's like an idiot brings a sword to a gunfight.
Real. I mean, yeah, unless you're fucking... Oh god, there's so many. I'm trying to think of swordsmen in gun battles. Overwatch? What's that one? Genji?
Genji, yeah.
Genji has sword.
Yeah, still get shot.
Still gets shot. All right, Tekken 4. Tekken 4 is where shit really like kind of gets together story-wise. It'll be a little bit more cohesive after this. I will mention, this is where the Devil Curse is explained. It's not explained in the detail that it is explained. I'm about to explain it. Technically, what I'm talking about happens in Tekken 7, but I figure it might as well go here because otherwise we're just going to be beating around the bush for a while. Okay, jumping back to the first game. Kazuya's mother, Kazumi, notably does not get a mention, as you noticed. This is because she died when Kazuya was young after losing an epic battle with Heihachi.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
He died to them.
Hey, you would never guess who started the fight, though. There's only two opponents. It's not Heihachi.
So Kazumi started the fight and she couldn't finish it.
When she was young, she traveled to the Mishima dojo so that she could... I've got a couple notes here because technically it's a little confusing. I think that she was there to observe and watch Heihachi's life because there is a possibility that the family that she comes from has slightly prophetic powers and are able to kind of tell like who's going to be important. So they sent her out to kind of monitor this guy who, to be fair, as we've seen in the rest of the games, good call.
Yeah.
Should have kept an eye on this guy. For years, her and a young Heihachi trained together before one day she collapsed during training. No. After some time, feverish, she awoke and attacked Heihachi. This is technically retold by Heihachi. She might have not been feverish. There might be another quote, but this is the best we've got. We also have cutscenes that show that that's technically true, but we also... Unreliable narrator, who knows?
It's one-sided.
Interesting.
Because her family, the Hachijo clan, have foreseen that Heihachi will become a threat to the world if he's allowed to go down a warmongering path. She attended the dojo, where she moved in, had a child with him, and trained with him, some amount, definitely over 5 years. Closer, I would guess, to 15. She'd finally decided that he was too far gone after seeing him take over the company from Jinpachi, which was at the very beginning there.
Yeah.
And decided
The one
to
that
make her
wanted
move
to step
kill
away
him.
from weapon
Correct.
profiteering. Yeah.
And when Heihachi goes like, no, more war, fucking, oh my god. Kazumi was just like, maybe this is it.
Yeah.
The only sane person's the entire bloodline.
Correct. She did this by tapping into her devil gene, which is a power given to her by her clan. It's specifically in the blood and the genealogy of her clan. This ability allows them to be host to a devil, which gives them a bunch of supernatural fighting abilities in things such as strength, big wings, forehead eyeball beam attack, telekinesis. The Hachijo clan use this power... What? You good?
No, keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
The Hachijo clan used this power to assassinate threats around the world in sort of like, I would call it a Punisher style of like doing evil to do good. They are actively playing host to demons, but they're doing it so they can murder anyone who wants to like start wars and stuff. So mildly forgivable.
But you often find your destiny on your road to avoid it.
Punisher?
That's from Kung Fu Panda.
Fuck off. For sure, my guy.
I'm saying, you might have led the guy down this destructive road, you know?
Maybe being there was in fact fulfilled the prophecy.
Maybe him losing his wife in a fight, having to kill her, or she would kill him, made him throw his child in a ravine.
I mean, that literally did happen. I think that, I'm not 100% sure, I think it was either the company acquisition or it was him throwing Kazuya into the ravine that actually triggered her to be like, he's too far gone.
I hope, yeah. If you see if you see your husband throw your child into a ravine, I hope that's a
wake up call for sure.
That's a wake up call.
Yeah, at that moment you really got to assess where you're at. Anyway, the devil gene power is usually activated, seemingly, by when someone has a near or actual death experience, such as being thrown off a cliff into a ravine, or for Jin being shot
Yeah, that
in the head.
So Kazumi.
So Kazumi,
Yeah.
there doesn't seem to be a specific reason why. It's mentioned that she's feverish, so maybe she was just gonna die from fever, in which case, that's crazy. Also possible that she manually activated it because she was more connected with her own clan, so she might have received tutelage on how to activate it without having to get thrown off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
But not specific.
Or maybe Heihachi attacked her.
Entirely possible. Heihachi does relay this story to a reporter during Tekken's 7. So it's possible that he's lying. He does, although, admit to the reporter to his face that he killed his wife by snapping her neck. So,
He is the CEO of one of the biggest companies in the world.
but also kind of oof. Like, why would you disguise what happened with Kazumi, but admit to just doing? And also, in that same interview,
that's
he
fair.
says he regrets not killing Kazuya when he was younger.
I mean, he tried.
He tried. To go back to why I'm explaining this, Tekken 4. Oh, sorry. Go back.
Yep.
Doesn't give an exact reason why it happened, but she did still transform into the devil, attacked Heihachi, tried to stop him, but he was already too strong and killed her, as
Damn,
mentioned.
cool.
To go back to why I'm explaining this, Tekken 4 opens with Heihachi researching Ogre that terrorized the cast in Tekken 3. He believes that splicing Ogre's DNA with his own can give him immense power and possibly immortality. Thus far, his research has been unsuccessful, but his researchers have come across a possible way to splice the DNA, but it requires a specific gene, the devil gene. How the fuck they figure this out, I'm unsure, but it's not impossible that they had DNA lying around from either Kazumi, Kazuya, or Jin, because those three are the ones that we know have the devil gene.
They did shoot him in the head. There's probably some blood on the ground.
There's probably something around, is my thought, but not enough to like duplicate it out. Heihachi learned that he did not have the devil gene. It is a inherited thing, not of the Mishima family, but of the Kazuya's, what is her last name? The self-defense style.
Mishima?
No, Mishima's the aggressive one.
Oh, it was like, you did say it before, didn't you? Fuck.
I did.
I've forgotten.
I'm sure I'll find it.
Anyway, whoever it is. I don't know, I'm not going to find it.
Okay.
Anyway, the mother's clan.
Yeah.
From here, I've lost my place. Give me 2 seconds. Still.
Ba-dum. You can find our Patreon and support us immensely. We haven't. Big thank you to
What a
our
transition.
prestige law keepers, Shadow, Mike, Leon.
Mike is. These are not prestige walkers. You're just lying.
our law keepers, Mike, Shadow, Leon,
Mike.
Luke.
Wait. Oh fuck! You can't just throw this at me, man.
He's got to be ready. Anyway,
we have okay. Just
Are we still doing this?
While we're here,
Yeah.
we might.
while
as
we're
well.
here, we might as well.
Thank you to our prestige law keepers. That is Luke Nukem and Shadow. Thank you very much. And to our novice law keepers, Jacob from Norway, Mike, Leon, and our newest law keeper that I haven't even told you guys about.
Oh no!
This sounds surprising for this episode. Iranian Games.
Oh, let's go!
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. so-
Iranian?
Uranian.
Yo, uranium games.
Myranian?
like Uranus, like from Uranus, I believe.
oh, gotcha.
Uranium.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's. I think
Uranian.
it's
okay.
like from Uranus.
Yeah.
No, I got you. I thought you said Iranian games. I was like, okay,
No.
kind of random, sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
I know anything. I haven't had a chance to contact Uranian, but thank you, Uranian, for joining the Law
Thank
Keepers.
you for
Welcome.
joining.
And
Come
welcome.
chat with us. Tell us what you want.
And thank you to everyone. And the talk in the Discord has been great, so I really appreciate it.
Okay.
And you can join us today at Live by Law on Patreon,
Yeah.
where you can help get access to videos of us doing dumb shit and scripts and stuff like that.
Okay, back to Heihachi.
Yes,
Found
back
my
to
spot.
Heihachi.
Back to the dumbest.
Back
thing
to the
of-
domestic violence.
Heihachi initially begins looking for Jin, with little success.
Uh-huh.
However, Heihachi comes across a, quote from the wiki, 20-year-old photo of a burnt corpse. Seeing a hint of what could be wings on the back, he made the connection that this was likely the corpse of Kazuya, having been retrieved from the volcano in Tekken 2.
Ah.
Furious now, he runs down the location of Kazuya, which leads him to the G Corporation, a biotech group who have been doing suspiciously well for themselves. Being a massively powerful businessman, he just sends in a private army to raid their facilities, doing two things, which is, one, he discovers the location of Kazuya's corpse, and two, the data that they got from the research. The data goes super easily. They basically blow the building up and then just lift the basement floor out with a bunch of helicopters and then fly it away.
That's pretty sick.
Which, absolute rat behavior. I would, not a fan of anarchical capitalism, but also I think that's extremely funny.
That's sick supervillain
We're just
behavior.
taking your basement.
We're taking this server. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Let me just lift this.
Yeah.
As that goes well, Kaihachi is watching on the cameras and sees that the facility where the body is a little bit cloudy, a little bit on fire. There's rubble. And emerging from the darkness on the monitor, Kazuya, revived and ready to fight.
Oh no.
I thought you were going to say it's Johnny Phoenix or whatever his fucking
It's
name.
fucking Paul Phoenix back from the dead, baby. He had been resurrected by the G Corp's researchers and had offered his body to them, seemingly maybe not actually deliberate, but unclear.
He was dead. How the fuck did he offer his body?
Well, they revived.
They
him.
revived him.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, this is cool. Keep doing research, guys.
Yep.
In order to find out the nature of the devil gene, which we just discussed. Kazuya's ultimate goal seems to have been to fuse his devil form and his human form, as the devil gene isn't necessarily like a power that you can utilize. It's more like demon take the wheel, you know, like giving across the controls to someone else.
When you're in extreme pressure, it comes out.
Correct.
It's like a fight or flight.
But it's also not the person, it's a devil taking control. So it's not like a no-loss power. It is very much has some downsides. As such, Kazuya seems to want to give himself these devil powers, which might have been possible like pre-devil gene rewrite, as it used to just be something you could tap into, whereas Tekken 7 rewrite, the demon thing,
Has he aged while he's been dead?
probably not. I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know. That's the
Corpses
kind
don't age, so...
this is the kind of question I need answering when you're talking about bringing people back from the
Yeah,
dead.
this is true.
Nonetheless, Kazuya flew into a rage at having been interrupted in his research and killed the Tekken force which had been sent after him before vanishing into the night.
Fuck yeah.
Heihachi, desperate for someone with the devil gene, laid a very obvious but also very enticing trap. The Fist of Iron Tournament 4, baby!
Yeah.
Tournament 4!
Which would once again put the Mishima Corporation up for grabs as the prize, because goddamn if these guys aren't the cockiest motherfuckers on the planet.
Well, he needs it to be a good trap, so.
Hachi's only lost it once, to be fair.
To be fair, he only lost it.
He also learned that if he just has a gun now.
You can just get a gun at
Bring
the
a
end of the
gun.
day. This managed to not only draw in Kazuya, but also Jin, who had been hiding out in a most mysterious place since the incident at the end of the last game.
New York City.
Incorrect. You can guess it. It is possible that you could guess it.
Australia?
Maybe.
The Outback?
Be specific. No.
Alice Springs?
Like Tasmania?
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
He was just hanging out in Brisbane. He was just hanging out. Not even in Brisbane rural. Like on the roof of a building in the city.
Honestly,
He has, I'm not shitting you, high-rise building, dojo on top.
Wow.
The clip of him like zooming in of him doing his training is just him on the top of a building fucking doing
I love the
kung fu
idea
shit.
that his grandfather could have found him at any time with a satellite.
Yeah, and his like not a non-powerful person has satellites canonically.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
And they're just like, can't find him.
I like the idea that Australia is just so like
It's-
no one would go there.
No one would go to fucking
To
Australia,
be fair,
dude.
even if you went to Australia, Brisbane's literally the last place you would look.
Dude, Perth. Everyone forgets Perth.
I feel like you would look at Perth before
I
Brisbane.
feel yeah, because Brisbane is like
Because Perth feels remote.
more Maine. They wouldn't. You
and
you wouldn't
Adelaide's
go to
too
Brisbane.
small to hide in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sydney's too obvious.
Sydney's too obvious. Melbourne's too obvious. Tasmania's too obvious. It's an island.
Everyone forgets about Brisbane.
Everyone forgets about Brisbane.
Good.
Anyway, he was hiding in Brisbane.
Fantastic.
Incredible lore note.
Yeah.
I squeed when I found out. Anyway,
Yep.
the canonical finals after Tekken tournament are Jin facing Kazuya before the winner goes on to face Heihachi in the grand final.
Interesting.
Just before the fight, Jin is kidnapped, making the semi-final match a forfeit with Kazuya in Kazuya's favor. Kazuya, obviously being, at this point, extremely suspicious of whatever the fuck is going on, demands to know from Heihachi where Jin is. Heihachi tells him that he will tell him after they fight.
Everything. I love the universe. Everything comes down to him.
Everything comes down
fight
to
me
it.
first.
Now we fight.
Does Heihachi know that Jin is his son?
Yes.
How do you work that out?
Because Jin came to him and said, Heihachi, Jin is not Heihachi's son. He's Kazuya's son. He's Heihachi's grandson.
Sorry. Does
Does
Kazuya
Kazuya know
know
that his son is Jin?
His son is Jin.
I
These
think
names are
so.
confusing.
I'll be honest. That's a hole in my research. I don't
That's right.
remember. They know eventually. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
He looked at him and went, yeah, you look like me.
They do all look relatively the exact same. They're not exactly the same, but similar-ish. Yeah. Anyway, Jin is kidnapped. In canon, Heihachi wins. So fucking L Kazuya.
That's pretty good.
He cannot. He really is worse than his fucking his dad, who's like 80 at this point.
Exactly.
He's got to be so old.
He is genuinely, Heihachi is like the Thanos of this universe. Just fucking unbeatable.
That's pretty sick.
How old is he? With all the time skips, he must be like
He was 50
80.
something during the first, and it's been like 20 years, so he's like 70.
It's been like 20 years twice though.
Yeah, probably.
We've
He's
had
old.
2
Don't worry about it.
generations.
Don't worry about it. He's old.
Don't worry about it. He's old as fuck.
He's old as fuck.
So what happens to Kazuya?
Kazuya then is surprisingly given the courtesy of being taken back to the Heihachi mansion of the Mishima family temple of Honmaru, which is their family temple dojo thing, where things such as Kazumi's fight with Heihachi happen. So that family battle happened here. It's essentially their house.
Yep.
There, Kazuya finds Jin bound, chained, and unconscious up on one of the walls. Stepping forward, Kazuya addresses Jin as his other half, revealing that Kazuya is not actually in control at this moment. Heihachi asks Kazuya who he is at this moment, to which Kazuya confirms that he is currently Devil, Kazuya's powerful alter ego given to him by the Devil Gene. So the Devil, very much, it's not even Devil take the wheel anymore, it's this Devil might just occasionally be in control.
Yeah.
You good?
No,
The devil's a split personality. Don't worry about it.
I am struggling to keep up, but we will.
You can ask a question after this paragraph.
Matt's just tired. I'm following perfectly, guy. It's golden.
Devil explains that when Heihachi threw Kazuya off the cliff when he was 5, a part of the devil's spirit that was inside Kazuya at the time split off and made its way into, I'm pretty sure, as of yet, the unborn Jin, because it's like 20 years since then.
Yeah.
He was
Or like 10
5.
years. Yeah, exactly. It's like 20 years before the tournament, like Tekken 1 happens, let alone Tekken 2. So I don't know what the fuck the spirit was doing in the meantime. What?
Chilling.
It was in his balls.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Where else would it be?
I mean, it has to have
How
been.
else would
Demons are stored in the balls.
where else would it go? To be able to make.
What do you
Where else would it go?
Where else would it go? Where else could this demon spirit that broke off from him because of the demon gene which he inherited from his mother, where else could it go apart from his balls?
If that had to go to his son, yeah, where's it going to be to end up in his son?
Other theory.
Oh my god, okay, I see what you're
It's
talking
in
about.
his semen.
You're a rat.
He's got demon semen.
Okay, I have a theory that is less testicular oriented.
I'm excited to hear it.
What if?
Yes.
What was the mum's name again?
Jun.
Jun, yeah.
Jun
What
is,
if?
Jun is Jin's mother.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
There's
about.
Kazumi
What
is
if Jun,
Yes.
as a young girl that she would have been at the time, similar sort of age to Kazuya,
Yeah.
what if, by pure chance, the demon spirit found her and then just had a little bit in her, and then that's why she was
Drawn to
positioned and drawn to him, and that's why she fell in love with him.
Hey,
I actually don't mind it.
Didn't you
I
want to
don't
kill
mind
him?
that. That's a
Didn't you want to?
She was assigned to kill him.
Arrest him, no,
him.
arrest
no
him.
arrest.
Yeah,
Not
she
kill
was.
him.
It was her job to arrest him.
She was a
but she
wildlife
met him
officer.
and fell in love with him.
Yeah.
So what if there was that little bit of the demons in
Hey,
her?
I like that. That's possible. That's possible. And she came from a martial arts family, so
yeah.
it's not.
So it's not unreasonable to suggest she could have been around.
So it's either it split off and then made this destined love affair to come together. They were drawn together by a demon, or it was stored in his balls.
or it was hiding in a rock for like 10, 20
And it was like,
years.
oh, I know my other half just had a child. I'm going to attach onto that.
Entirely possible.
Yep. Either way, Jin is chained up.
Jin
Kazuya is taken over by
Kazuya's
the
talking
devil.
about Kazuya
His other
as
demon.
devil
Yep.
is talking about Jin as his other half.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Devil, then I don't know what you would call it, but from what I saw in the cinematic, just fucking chi blasts Heihachi out of the room. He literally just goes like and just looks at him, and Heihachi just flies out of the room.
That's kind of sick.
Before making to absorb the powers of Jin's devil half.
Yeah.
Only to be stopped by the Kazama blood of his mother, the Kazama self-defense, the defensive family, presumably something in his blood stops Kazuya from being able to absorb Jin's demon.
Interesting.
While distracted, Kazuya takes back control of his body from Demon before freeing Jin and allowing him to get out. In the game, there are then 2 fights, Jin and Kazuya, because they do, and the winner of that against Heihachi. Canon states that Jin wins both these fights.
He's like, oh, by the way, we didn't get to have our fight earlier, so we should do that now.
But before he can kill his rat bastard of grandfather, he sees a vision of his mother. Deciding to give mercy, he then flies off into the night.
No. He needs to kill him.
He sees
Nah,
his mother and
Heihachi-
sees a vision.
Redemption arc for Heihachi.
Redemption arc
He
for
sees his
Heihachi.
demon mother. No, that was just the wildlife mother, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the wild mother. But that's the Kazama self-defense style mother, the wildlife protection officer. Yeah, you good?
Oh, good. Does he win the company now? He won. He beat him.
We don't worry. Tekken 5 immediately picks up from where this left off.
Great.
We pick up Tekken 5 right after where Tekken 4 left off, with Heihachi and Kazuya in Honmaru. Right after Jin leaves, a battalion of Jack robots appear, sent by the G Corporation
Yeah,
to
the
attack
Russian
temple.
robots.
Correct, with the goal of killing Kazuya,
Oh my god.
because G
someone.
Corporation thinks that Kazuya is a pain in the ass, despite the fact that
I mean, he is.
but he also fueled all of their biological ability
Sure.
to do cool shit.
Yeah.
He's a loose end. They're going to chop him
Yeah.
off.
Exactly. Right. So then, at first, Heihachi and Kazuya fight side by side, father and son. But as always, one of them fucks over the other. And the wiki describes it as Kazuya then throws Heihachi into the robots. What actually happens in the cutscene is Kazuya grabs Heihachi and throws him in front of the robots, and the robots all then, like you would with a group of friends who you're trying to fuck around with, dog piles on him by just jumping on them like that.
That's pretty funny.
Heihachi then, Kazuya then slips out, flying off into the night. Heihachi then looks up at the Jack robot standing in front of him, to which its face flips open and reveals a timer as a bomb goes off, destroying the entire temple of Honmaru and the entire top of the mountain, presumably with Heihachi in it, because the size of the explosion looks legitimately like a fucking missile. The
That's
cutscene
insane.
shows the entire top of the mountain embroiled in flames and smoke.
With him being part of by all these robots. that
Correct.
are
Who are also all presumably bombs.
Yeah, presumably.
So Heihachi's dead.
I'm sure he's fine.
Heihachi's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
If we know one thing, Heihachi is
He's not dead.
He can't fucking
A man
die.
watching from the distance, whose name is Raven. He's a UN secret intelligence agent.
Of course he is.
Then declares over his headset, Heihachi Mishima is dead.
Sure he fucking is.
Jin awakens in the forest sometime later, surrounded by destruction that he wrought with his devil form coming in. He knows that he needs to train it, control it, and if possible, get rid of it.
Your father was about to do that,
He
man.
retreats to Yakushima, an island in Japan, to plot how the fuck he's going to do that.
Fuck yeah.
His father was about to take it out of him, and then he's like, "No, don't do it."
He technically didn't. It's just that Kazuya wrestled back control, and also Jin can't lose his power because of the Kazama defensive ward on his blood. So it's not necessarily like he didn't want to. It's just
Yeah, it
he
was just-
couldn't.
It was a Harry Potter Voldemort situation.
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. He was protected by his mother's love.
Yep.
Anyway,
He was
It makes
protected
perfect,
by his
Matt, it
mo-
makes perfect
he was
sense.
protected by his mother's love or genes.
with
Okay.
Kazuya and Jin both in hiding off again, and Heihachi dead, something
I can't believe
unexpected
they got him with
happens.
bombs. I can't believe- Nothing could
That
kill
was
him.
something incredible
They
happens.
nuked the CIA. The UN nuked him. The UN.
No, the UN didn't do it.
The Russian
That was G
G-
Corporation.
Corp.
UN was just watching.
they were involved.
No, they weren't.
They sure.
They genuinely weren't.
Okay.
So what happens then after? Out of the blue, the Mishima Corporation announces Tekken 5. It's Fist of Iron tournament number 5.
tournament?
Again, reminder, Heihachi's dead, Jin and Kazuya are in hiding. None of them organized this tournament.
Hey, the board's like, hey, we gotta.
Hey, we gotta get some
Yeah,
boys.
these actually.
You know what they're doing? You know what they're doing? They're fighting a new CEO.
Yes.
Yes.
And whoever wins,
Whoever wins is the
CEO.
They gotta have a big fighter.
Yeah.
They're like none of the whole board's like none of us.
They
can
are
fight.
literally the most successful company on the planet, bar none.
Yeah, fair.
So the fact that they've only ever had these incredibly warmongering fighters as their lead means they have to get another one.
I was about to ask like why? What do they sell? And then I thought about it. Weapons. Yeah.
It's weapons, it's
Wow.
unethical experiments, it's all sorts
I
of crazy
wonder
shit.
why they're the most.
I haven't got it
successful
anywhere
company
in
the
this
world.
script, but at this point in the story, we do also know that they are performing experiments on animals, not as in like a product testing way, but to see if they can make super soldiers. There's a
All right.
kangaroo called Roger, I think his name is.
Uh-huh.
There's also a velociraptor and a bear called Kuma. Kuma's actually not biologically modified. Only the velociraptor and velociraptor is brought back from the dead through the dinosaur DNA. Roger's just genetically modified. Kuma the bear, which at this point we're up to Kuma 2, which is Kuma's son. Sorry, both of them are looking at me so evil. Kuma is Heihachi's bodyguard and is a
Okay.
bear.
Of course,
Kuma's
yeah,
also a simp for Panda, who is a panda.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But
Yep.
Panda doesn't want any of it.
That's unfortunate.
Panda is Jun's companion, the wildlife officer. So she's got a panda who fights along with her.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So what happens at Tekken 5, guy?
So
I think Matt's
are
having
you,
a panic attack.
Are you telling me that the bear is a playable character that is not changed at all? It's just a bear.
It's just he's trained in the Mishima fighting style. Like he's
What do
trained
you
in kung
mean
fu.
he's trained in the machine learning style? What do you mean by
He's
that?
trained.
You said he's not trained.
Heihachi trained him
How do you train a bear?
by being Heihachi.
How are you questioning anything this man did?
Also, excuse you, 2 bears. The bear and the bear's son.
Yeah, but the bear's son
I'll
is...
mention as well the first bear. What do you think happened to him?
He died?
He died.
Incorrect. He retired. He just got old.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So he got thrown off a cliff.
Because there's that 20-year gap. Bears
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, bears don't live
Yeah.
that long, yeah.
That's fair.
So guy...
It's bear.
Okay, Matt.
No.
Matt.
I need a break.
No, you don't. I'm putting in my bets now. Tekken 5 tournament. Jin's going to come back to fight. Kazui's going to fly back down to fight.
Yep.
And then the twist at the end is going to be
Heihachi.
Heihachi reemerges and goes, "You will not take my company."
You know, my theory is that Heihachi is gonna have, because he killed a god in front of him, he's gonna go be an experiment on the god, and he's half god.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yep.
Both
Okay.
of you are right in different ways, but also wrong.
The only way Heihachi
Yeah.
could, one, be this powerful and an asshole, and also train a bear in martial arts, is he must be a martial arts god. There's some part of him that's a god.
Yeah.
Entirely possible. However, the usual suspects attend the Tekken 5 tournament, which includes our original cast along with a couple of others, which we always get. This is the game part of the game. Canonically, fights. Canonically, then, Jin makes it to the final round.
Jin already won. Why does he have to do it
So
again?
Jin won all the tournaments. So he's in the final round against, the final boss character, which is this final boss fight the CEO type thing that you mentioned.
Do you think that anyone else who keeps showing up to these is a bit sick of Jin and
So
the
just
family?
so fucking sick of
They
the
gotta
Mishimas
be.
just being like, guys, can you fucking quit it?
Yeah,
We're trying to fight here.
His whole family keeps winning every tournament. It must be rigged.
I mean, they're very good fighters.
Yeah.
Jin makes the final round where he does not face down Heihachi. Instead,
Wait, what happened to his dad?
what about his dad? He
Kazooie.
beat him.
He gets
Wow.
beaten. Yeah.
Kazuya gets beaten.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
In the semi-finals? Or the finals?
Semi-finals, yeah.
Damn.
Cool.
It's just he didn't win.
I think he's just bad, Heihachi.
He's good.
No, Heihachi.
Kazuya.
Kazuya. Fuck it.
Also, you keep calling him Kazumi?
Kazooie.
Kazooie?
Kazooie's a different game, isn't it?
Banjo and
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo and
Oopsie.
Kazuya.
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 Banjo and Kazuya.
Anyway, he does not face down Heihachi.
Okay.
Instead, he faces down the monstrous form of his great-grandfather,
Fuck off.
Jinpachi Mishima,
Oh my god,
You
he's
mean the
back.
pacifist?
the pacifist. He's back, baby!
What form is he back?
Jinpachi has been locked beneath the temple of Honmaru after the disagreement turned coup with his son Heihachi about the direction of the business.
He's been downstairs the whole
He's
time.
been downstairs the whole time.
How old is he?
Heihachi obviously won this fight and then chained his father deep below the temple, which has just been blown up,
Yeah.
which
freeing
either
him.
revealed or released Jinpachi after 44 years.
This guy is like 110.
Exactly. He does look like it. During this time, while he was locked down there, some sort of malevolent spirit has entered Jinpachi, destroying most of his mind. A very strong note here. This spirit is not the same as the devil gene, despite the fact that it looks 99% the exact same.
I see.
Do they like say it like, oh, this is different?
They came out and claimed, people had like arguments. Yes, they basically came out and said this isn't the same.
Well, it was confirmed that Heihachi doesn't have the devil gene. So that
Correct,
makes-
yes. So Jinpachi doesn't either. It comes from
the mother, Kazumi.
Correct on all notes. The devil gene thing is more of a spirit and host, like symbolic sort of parasite-y relationship. In contrast, Jinpachi is just straight up being consumed by this spirit. And he knows that if it takes over, it will be very bad news for everyone. As such, he announced the Tekken 5 tournament as a way to find someone strong enough to kill him.
Oh.
So he announced it.
He announced it. He came back in his original company and said, let's just do another Tekken. I need to fucking die.
I want to know what what that board meeting was like.
If a Mishima walks into the room, I don't think I'm going to argue with them, considering the shit that they've been getting up to.
After 40 years.
44 years locked in the basement, a devil-infested old man walks into the boardroom and says, I need you to organize a tournament so someone can kill me. Which I'll note, he doesn't know about the Tekken tournaments because he's been locked in the basement for 44
That's
years.
pretty funny.
No. So either someone at the company told him, or he just went, I need a tournament, and they said, you'll never believe this.
You know, I like to believe that the intern sat him down and explained all the tournaments.
Oh my god, yeah. Fuck you.
Jinpachi, and he has a giant like mouth in his torso as well.
What do you
That's-
mean
it's
it's a
that's the
giant
demon. That's the demon.
Okay.
And so he's just sitting there, just like,
Does he look anything like the god?
no. The god and the Heihachi and the Mishimas look very different.
Okay.
But he does look like a more extreme version of Heihachi. Older, scrawnier, and with more demon bits.
Ooh. So
Uh-huh.
Jinpachi and Jin fight.
Fight.
Who wins?
Jin wins.
Yeah!
Jin
He
wins.
wasn't even trying. He wanted to die.
Yeah, correct. Well, the demon
Kill
inside
me.
him definitely wanted to live.
Yeah.
I see.
But Jin thought otherwise, so Jin killed him. Anyway, so that's
Fuck
the end
yeah.
of Tekken 5.
Yeah.
Tekken 5, Jin wins again.
So Hachi did come back.
Heihachi, no. When's Heihachi? When did I say
He's
Heihachi?
dead. He's dead.
Look me in the eyes. Heihachi's dead in a volcano.
He got blown
No,
up.
he's dead in
Explosion.
he's dead in an explosion. They all keep dying in
He's
different
not
ways.
dead.
I keep getting him mixed up.
He's not dead. He's coming back.
He's dead.
He's dead.
I swear he's
got
dead.
blown up. No. Also, these games, like, you literally like kind of blow their load really quickly. They've learned they can hold a load. Oh, by me, it's like
No, fuck off. Fuck off.
Go,
You
tell
did
me how
not
they
just
blow their
say
fucking load. Tell me.
my point is that like when a character dies, you should wait like a game or two before bringing them back. For most of these, they go, "Oh, he died. Oh, he's back in the next one," right? Well, this one they've learned. Let's leave it like one game, and then we bring him back.
What are you talking about? He's dead. They leave it for all the games.
Yeah, he's gonna go.
Tell us about Tekken 6, guy.
Tekken 6 ends, so Tekken 5 ends with Jin winning the tournament and killing Jinpachi.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, he becomes the owner of the Mishima Corporation and runs it as a level-headed, peaceful owner, leads the company to use its vast resources to provide housing, feed the hungry, and overall make the world a better place.
After
Cringe.
finally killing his pacifist great-grandfather, sorry.
Yeah, he did kill his pacifist grandfather, and good point as well, because I was fucking lying with you. He declares the Mishima Corporation its own independent nation and declares war on every country in the world.
Incredible. That is where we're.
I-
That's now we're talking.
I didn't think he could get worse than
He got
his
worse!
his father and
He
great
got
grandfather.
so much worse.
I swear, I think we should bring back fucking Heihachi. He's a better fucking CEO on this. Do you think the board, who I'm thinking it all while this all going on, they're just making money. Like they're doing their work.
Oh, they're making incredible amounts.
yeah, they're
of
doing
money.
the money, and they're like, just keep the fucking what's the family name?
The
Mishima.
Mishimas.
Just keep the Mishimas busy. Let them do their fucking shit.
Just let them do their thing.
Give them their tournaments, pay the money for the tournaments, and they'll leave us alone.
These guys like shit money. I don't know what the fuck is going on. One of them's around. There's just money, like I'm not shitting you, billions of dollars coming in.
Oh yeah, it's insane, dude.
And then they're like, "Fuck, Jin wants to make a fucking country. Fuck, oh, okay. We're making money. Just fucking let him
making money. Just let him cook.
Just let him cook."
Anyway, why does Jin do this?
Yeah, why does he go?
Well, as he delved deeper into how he could rid himself of the devil gene, he began to hear voices from a new creature called Azazel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Azazel is correct, yes.
Azazel is an ancient demon who claims that Jin is its servant, telling him to wage war and create chaos so that it might escape into the world. Jin believes that Azazel is likely the origin of the devil gene, and that if he follows Azazel's instructions, it will allow Azazel to manifest in the real world, where he can apply the only solution that the Mishimas seem to be able to use, which is beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, like in like canon, not in this canon, but like in Bible canon, he's one of the princes of hell.
That's, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Bible canon.
Bible canon.
Not in the but
A quick side note here. The first thing that I just thought this was funny. The first thing that comes up when you Google Azazel Tekken is like a couple wiki pages, a YouTube video of his fight, and then a Reddit article entitled "Azazel is the stupidest fucking character in the history of Tekken." That's the top result.
That's pretty funny.
It's just because the fight's really hard, but I just found that really funny.
Yeah.
Working against Jin, one of his subordinates, Lars Alexanderson, decides to leave the Mishima Corp with half the Tekken force, starting a rebellion force against Jin. Because funnily enough, not everyone in this company is a complete maniac.
Wow.
Most of them are.
how dare you? This family's been running this company for at least 4 generations now. Back and forth a little bit, but that's still right.
Not super relevant currently, but Lars is also actually another son of Heihachi.
Oh my god.
A fact revealed to Heihachi as he's making his way to Jin in order to beat him up. Heihachi.
What did you fucking just say? What did you say to me? Heihachi's fucking back, baby.
Yes.
What do you?
Heihachi survived the explosion. Of course he fucking did. I said he's Thanos.
Where is he? Where was he?
The scene.
How was he?
The scene is summarized very wonderfully by the wiki. This is a quote from the story mode of this game, which I'll be doing a brief overview of, but I thought this quote, beautiful. Eventually, Lars and Alyssa, an android girl he found part of the story, got a lead on Heihachi Mishima. After fighting through the secret servers guarding Heihachi's residence, Lars is able to engage Heihachi in a fight. Lars defeats Heihachi, don't know how,
He just got blown up by a fucking bomb. I think he's fine.
and his memory returns to him. Lars has amnesia at this point, don't worry about it. Leading him to recall that he is Heihachi's illegitimate son.
Ah.
It's because he had, I think it's like a Nordic woman who he had an affair with.
Of
So
course.
that's why Lars, this very like blonde-haired Swedish man, is
I love the idea that he got punched in the head by his fucking great grandfather and went, "Oh, my dad."
exactly.
Like, sorry, his dad.
So he gets punched in the head by his grandfather. Remembers
His
he's his
dad, his
grandfather.
dad, this is
His
his
dad.
dad,
Sorry, his
yeah.
dad. You're right. Lars defeats Heihachi and his memory returns to him. He recalls that he's Heihachi's illegitimate son. He then aims a gun at Heihachi and, after a fraught discussion, pulls the trigger.
Boom.
What comes next?
Heihachi
Catches the bullet with his teeth.
With his wait, catches the bullet with his teeth.
With his teeth.
I was.
It's incredible.
I think Heihachi is a god himself. He doesn't. He must be. There's no other way.
Don't worry. The next it continues being great. Heihachi catches the bullet with his teeth. Before Lars can do anything else, he receives a call from Togu, a person he's working with, regarding an operation. Lars relents and leaves.
Wow.
That's the wiki summary. I did not write that. That is on the wiki.
That's incredible.
I would too if I saw someone catch a bullet with his
He's just like, actually, hold on, I gotta take a call. I'm actually good. To be fair, he already won this fight.
did.
Like,
Yeah, how'd he beat him?
Well, okay, I say beat. Like, I think that's in the technical term of the game, where it's like you won the 3 rounds necessary to win the fight.
yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean he killed him.
Yeah.
No, we don't say he killed him.
Heihachi fights by the rules.
Oh,
of
so honorable.
Heihachi, have any damage from the nuke he got? Nope.
Of course not.
He's literally fine.
Of course he is.
Like there's just not even a scar on him.
No, nothing. I'm not shitting you. That is from Tekken 7.
He's fine.
I'm pointing at Matt's laptop where he's got a photo of Heihachi on it.
What happened?
Nothing. He just walked out. He just got away.
Okay, so maybe you may be about to go into it.
Yeah.
So Jin's the company leader after Tekken 6.
Correct, yes.
Heihachi's off doing things.
Yes.
Clearly keeping out of
He's trying to
public eye.
fight Jin. He's trying to take his company back.
Oh,
was taking
I
a
was
bit-
going to ask, so how does Tekken 7 tournament happen? But that'll be it, right?
It-
Heihachi's coming to take the
We haven't even
tournament.
done today was 6 tournament.
We're still working through Tekken 6.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Tekken 7 tournament does involve that, yes.
Of course it does. Yeah, cool.
Kazuya, meanwhile, while that's happening,
Yep.
discovers that the G Corporation are the ones who sent the Jacks after him at the end of Tekken 5, as I mentioned. As such, he goes forward with the most obvious choice, which is going to G Corp HQ, killing their leaders, and establishing himself as the new CEO.
Based.
We've established in this universe, if you kill the CEO, you get to be the CEO.
Correct.
Yeah.
He then, quote-unquote, rapidly militarizes G Corporation and puts a bounty on Jin's head, which I think is very unnecessary. It's like putting a bounty on Hitler. Like, we know.
Yeah.
He's declared war against everyone. There's no one on this planet who isn't wanting to kill Jin.
But you're like,
pretty funny.
but now there's a little money on top.
Correct. There's a little juice. Seeing this, however, Jin knows a way to draw out all of his would-be assassins in one place and to show his dominance all at once
Oh, yeah.
by
we
calling
do.
the 6th Tekken tournament.
Back in the tournament,
Of course.
baby.
The story for this game continues and interplays with the story. Tournament happens. There's also a story mode that happens at the same time. It's a little bit weird with how the tournament plays into the story, but sometimes it doesn't, but also doesn't. Anyway. The story for this game continues and interplays with the story. It has a scenario mode, which is about Lars.
Yeah.
There's other previous games have had these story modes too, but the last one was like, it's Kazuya fighting a bunch of Heihachi clones and didn't actually have a ton to do with the story. So I kind of left it. This particular one runs parallel to the story, but I'll do a very, very, very fast run through of it. I've condensed this as much as I can. Lars, secret Heihachi son, finds a robot, Alyssa, in the Mishima Corporation labs. They both get blown up by robots while they're trying to raid this lab, get amnesia. This is while Lars is in the rebellion against Jin. They both do a bunch of fighting, end up with Jin. Jin reboots Alyssa, the robot that Lars has found, saying to her, reboot and disable safe mode, to which Alyssa then turns evil. Lars then beats both Jin and Alyssa, goes into a temple that they're next to in the desert with a UN agent, meets an old mystic woman called Zafina. Kazuya is there at the temple. They fight him. They fight an evil devil who claims to be Azazel. Azazel collapses into light. The temple collapses, and Lars gets out with the UN guy. Are we following thus far?
Yep.
So is this just happening while...
This is a story mode. This is just happening alongside.
There's a tournament here, and there's a temple here with some fucking
Lars
shit
is
going
doing
on.
story mode shit. He's running the rebellion. This is the
Gotcha.
rebellion story
This
mode.
is happening during Tekken 6 while the tournament's happening.
Found Alyssa.
Yeah,
Alyssa
cool.
turned evil. He beat Alyssa and the other person. Joined up with a guy from the UN. They went to a temple in the desert.
Is this the guy who's like smoking in the background?
That was the guy who declared Heihachi dead.
Yeah, she's dead. Yeah.
That same guy, exactly. They also found 2 people, Zafina in the desert, who claims to be a mystic and like a keeper of this temple.
Yep.
To which Kazuya's there as well.
Yep.
Says like, I know this thing's awakening, and she's like, how the fuck do you know that?
What is awakening?
Azazel. Azazel is in this temple.
Oh, no.
They fight the devil who claims to be Azazel. Azazel collapses into light, and the temple collapses. That's where we're up to. Cool.
Yeah.
All
Is
right.
Jin here at all?
Jin's here. Yeah. Jin got beat.
Yeah, he got beat with
He just got
Lars
beat.
Jin and Alyssa.
Lars beat Jin and Alyssa, and then went to the temple.
Yeah.
And Kazuya's also got beat?
Kazuya's not here.
Kazuya wasn't there at the.
Yeah, he's busy taking G-Force.
No,
at this
Kazuya
point,
is
right?
there. Kazuya's there at the temple. They
He
fight
is?
him.
Oh, shit, okay.
He's just around. A lot of these
Okay.
characters just appear because
Sure.
it's story cutscene fight, story cutscene fight. So occasionally
Yeah.
they're just like, fuck, they're at the temple. Kazuya.
I'm imagining
fair.
I'm imagining the temple and the tournament happening like side by side. So Kazuya just saw them, the people going to the temple's like, I'm fucking following.
The temple's in the Middle East, but sure.
Where's the tournament?
Japan, I think.
That's like literally as far
Distance
apart.
makes no difference in this series. There are so many times when they're just like, and then they go to Japan. Like the first one where they threw him into the Heihachi threw Kazuya into the volcano. They're just like fighting in a dojo, and then the fight ends, and then they're at a volcano.
Yeah, fair.
So I don't know. Distance isn't an issue. Anyway. Temple collapses. Lars gets out with the UN guy. Lars and Jin fight again because Jin's back again. Lars has to kill Alyssa, and Alyssa thanks Lars for treating her as a person, then dies. Jin and Lars then fight again. Jin wants to kill Azazel. Lars said he just did that. Azazel then appears in golden light because he can only be killed with someone who has the devil gene. No
Naturally.
explanation provided
Yep.
for why that is.
Naturally.
Although it might be something to do with like devil attunement.
Yep.
Who knows? Jin then one punches him before they both fall into a hole. Azazel and Jin.
Yep.
Not.
Jin one punches Azazel?
Yes, correct.
Fuck yeah.
Punches him in the torso and he collapses into. They then both go into a hole in the temple rubble and then golden light blasts out.
Wasn't Azazel get controlling Jin in some of this?
No, he thought called Jin his servant,
Yeah.
but that's because he has the devil gene. Jin, the whole plan for Jin here was to summon Azazel and kill him.
Yeah.
So he's done that now.
Jin didn't give a shit. Okay, good.
Correct. Lars rides off into the sunset. The UN guy finds Jin's body, and he still has devil markings, which is a tattoo on his left arm. So he hasn't killed Azazel, which means this whole thing, well, he might have killed Azazel, but overall, it didn't work. It didn't get rid of the devil gene. This whole story was for nothing. I shit you not, no story progress was made, despite everything just mentioned,
That's
apart from
pretty
the fact
fun.
that Lars is now here.
That's pretty fucked.
Lars is not here, and his robot girlfriend had a good time and died. Okay?
Correct.
Don't take that away from Lars.
Don't take that away from
Yeah.
It's such good. It's so cute.
He also got to meet he also got to meet
His family.
brother and nephew,
Yeah.
Correct.
and then beat them up or fight with them. I don't know what
He
happened.
also
I'm
met
confused.
he also
beat
met
him
his
up.
dad.
You did be his dad, yeah.
That was part of the tournament.
No, that was part of the.
That was,
Memory
but that was before the temple.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the Tekken 6 story mode. The tournament, as far as I'm aware, I think that Jin wins it, and that's just kind of Jin's
That's
stage in
kind of it.
power.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, Jin's like, I beat Azazel. I beat the demon lord with one punch. You want to fucking fight this?
No, he won the tournament, then he went to go fight the.
Sorry, yeah.
Get your order right.
Sorry.
naturally.
Jin's body is recovered by the UN operatives. As I mentioned, we're into Tekken 7 now. We're on the second last one. We're getting there. This is coming out a lot shorter than I thought it would, which I'm very happy about
Fuck
because
yeah.
I was worried when I was writing this. Okay. Jin's
so
body
much
is
going
recovered
on.
by the UN operative that I mentioned.
Uh-huh.
They're flying him home when he wakes up and explodes out of the helicopter.
Of course he does. No, not the UN agent.
I don't think that the UN agent is there. His name's
Okay, good.
Raven, by the way.
Okay.
Does he have any powers, or can he fight? Or he's just-
Raven.
yeah.
I mean, he's like Paul Phoenix style, just strong fighter.
So he's like you and agent, and then they kind of like, I can fight the devil. Give me, come on, fisticuffs.
To be honest, like the difference between the world's top fight, it's like if MMA fighters could just like call up Poseidon and be like, "Hey, come here, motherfucker,
yeah.
come here," throw hands. That sort of, it's like humans top out at the same level that gods are at, which is insane. As like
That's pretty wild.
it's like D&D style.
Yeah.
Except it's fucking brawler fighting style, which also seems to not make people impervious to gun unless you're Heihachi.
Yeah. Heihachi's a different build.
Heihachi built different.
There has to be some sort of reveal that Heihachi's half god. Like, this has to come somewhere.
We'll see. Anyway, back to Tekken 7.
Yeah, how do they not think he was going to wake up and explode out of this fucking
Who
helicopter?
fucking knows? Anyway, helicopter explodes. He then ends up nearly getting caught again. He's walking through desert towns trying to recover himself. He's badly injured still. But he's saved by a most unlikely person. Lars, who is now in cahoots with Lee, who is another adopted child of Heihachi's.
Of course.
We have another one.
Specifically, who was adopted while Kazuya was a child, and also Lee was a child, because Lee showed a lot of fighting promise, and Heihachi wanted a sparring partner and nemesis, essentially, for Kazuya.
Wait, so this is not related, not blood related. This is a adopted child.
Adopted child.
Okay.
From the streets, which Heihachi was training to be Kazuya's rival and like training partner.
Gotcha.
we got-
Which, again, fucking mad beef Heihachi has with this 5-year-old.
Yeah, pretty wild. But sure.
What's up?
So
You look like you're having trouble with something. Is there anything you're having problems with?
Yeah,
we got bastard child Lars.
Yes, correct.
We
Half
got-
child. Well,
half-
half brother of Kazuya.
Yeah, half brother of Kazuya. We got adopted child Lee.
Yep.
And then nephew Jin.
Yes.
Just chilling in the desert.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cool.
Correct.
I'm caught up.
Excellent.
It's a fun family feud.
Lee and Lars then take Jin back to a safe house to recover. Lee considers killing Jin in his sleep.
Good plan.
However, Lars plans to use Jin as a weapon against Kazuya and Heihachi, seeing him as the only one who can challenge them, which, fair enough, honestly.
Can I say one thing for this
Yeah,
universe? No one is just like, no one really goes like, no, it'd be the wrong thing to do. Everyone goes like, no, let's not kill this really bad guy because I'm going to use him for my own good.
Because it's not honorable. It's not in a fair fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, no one goes like, no, we have to be heroes. We won't kill. Everyone goes like, no, we won't kill because I want to use him to be my weapon. Yeah. And they do it for good reasons. I respect that. Respect the hustle.
So, So Jin is now out of commission.
He's unconscious.
Kazuya is in charge of the G Corp, which he walked into and took over the executive office of. So, guess who it is? Right on cue, walking back through Mishima Corp's office doors to take his old job back. It's motherfucking Heihachi.
Yeah.
He's back again, baby.
Dead.
Heihachi, this time, decides to be a little bit smarter, though. As he retakes his place at the head of the table, he actually wants to make Mishima look better. Crazy.
They just declared war on the entire world.
I'll be honest, this is an interesting thing. I don't know whether he rescinds that or not.
He goes like, "Oh, we were just joking, guys."
But, like, it's not clear. There's a reason why in a moment, but basically, there's never a point at which it's officially called that they stopped being at war.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether Heihachi's just like, we're still at war, but, like, hear me out, guys.
Here we go.
So basically what he does is he pits his company against G Corp, wanting to show the world Kazuya's devil form, because having a demon as your CEO looks bad, even if your opponent company is the Mishima Corporation, known war criminals.
I'll be honest, there is no one who doesn't look bad in this universe.
How does he get Kazuya out so that he can make the world show off his devil form?
Tekken 7!
He calls the 7th tournament.
It's the only way to get anyone to come to anything these days. It's like
The only response they RSVP to is this fucking tournament.
yeah,
dude.
it's like when you have that one person in the group that only comes to when you're doing like one thing. Like
Yeah.
they won't come to brunch, they won't come to games
They only
night.
come to D&D.
They only come to D&D. In this case, it's they will only come
to the fighting tournament. Incredible.
It's a bit of a toxic thread.
All right. As the planning is going on for this,
I love the sorry. I love the idea. I think there's something ingrained in these people that they can't resist a tournament.
they can't stop, and the
They can't say
tournament
no.
has to be for everything I own.
And they're pretty fair about the tournament. They don't like break the rules.
No, they're incredible. And every time someone wins, they give them the prize money. Apart from that time that Heihachi shot Jin, but that's a separate.
Don't worry about it.
Heihachi is a different breed.
Heihachi built.
Heihachi built different.
What an incredible fucking guy. Okay. As the planning is going on, however, a wrench in the works.
Oh no.
A creature appears to try and kill Heihachi, which in itself I would probably say is unremarkable. They probably gets a lot of assassins sent after him. Not that Heihachi's bothered by it. It's his lunch break. Come on, let's take this outside. Uppercuts them to space.
Yeah.
I don't want to disturb my desk.
Yeah, sorry. Can we just take this just over here? All right, cool. Send him to space.
Relatable.
However, creature appears and tried to kill Heihachi, which, again, unremarkable. However, except for who this figure claims to represent.
Oh.
None other than Heihachi's dead wife, Kazumi.
No.
Fuck off.
The devil...
It's a demon
Mhm.
representing his dead demon wife.
Correct. Which, if you remember how the devil gene works, you play host to a demon.
Yeah.
So,
It's her host.
it's most likely her demon that was being hosted.
How'd he get here in form?
Don't worry about it. The devil then does seem to kill Heihachi, just in a fight, which Kazuya watches through a robot that he has in the room because of reasons. Don't
'Cause
worry
why
about
not?
it.
Yeah.
Because he's in charge of G Corp, he has Jack
yeah.
robots, and the Jack robots were attacking the area, but then the fight happened, and so Jack robots just kind of got stood to the side, and Kazuya's just watching through one of them and sees Heihachi get fucking die.
He wouldn't want to get involved, you know? He's too honorable.
Of course, Heihachi is still alive, but he uses this chance to fake his death, which I don't know why he bothers. No one's convinced.
No one believes he's dead.
No one believes you. At this point, Heihachi, you could genuinely die and we'd all be waiting for you to come back. This guy could keel over of old age and people would be like, this is fucking come back.
How old is he?
He's like probably 90 by now. Probably 80 or 90.
I need a timeline.
It's incredible. Okay. Why, though? The devil is set on killing Heihachi and Kazuya.
Oh wow. Okay.
The devil turns its sights onto Kazuya, making its way to the G-Corp building. Kazuya then tells his full building of security to stand aside so he can fight this guy,
Okay.
leading the confrontation to the roof. Kazuya then
course it
asks
does.
who the devil is and how he knew his mother. The devil, Akuma, explains that Kazumi saved his life and in exchange has been instructed to kill Heihachi and Kazuya, as well as, I believe that... give me a second. Akuma was also her devil creature, and possibly also in part of his power may have been inherited down to Kazuya and Jin, but I'm not 100% clear on that. Nonetheless, Devil Akuma explains that. The fight then begins, with Kazuya transforming into his devil form. Heihachi captures footage of the fight and broadcasts Kazuya's devil form to the world, which, not fucking cool, my guy. You don't take videos of someone when they're in their devil form.
Yeah, honestly.
That's so
it's
rude.
Pretty fucking rude.
Pretty rude. Also, if I'm honest, I'd trust a CEO more if I saw them in their devil form.
Yeah.
They're normal.
It's kind of real.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, Nestle CEO, I get it now.
I already
guess.
knew you were a demon.
I knew,
now,
but like I thought you were on like my level and you were just a bad person. But like if you're a demon, like your baseline's different. I get it.
Yeah, like it's part of who you are.
Part of the job. Yeah, absolutely. So that then happens. Broadcast devil's form to the world. He then, sorry, I read this sentence and I laugh. He then blasts the entire building with an orbital satellite laser, which seems to kill both Kazuya and Akuma, as well as everyone else in the building, as well as destroying the building.
My God.
The Mishima Corporation has an orbital laser.
Okay. Okay.
Are you surprised?
No.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not.
Of course you're not. That's what I thought.
I can't think if this orbital laser
Did it kill Kazumi? Kazuya? No.
Kazumi's already dead.
Kazuya.
Kazuya's maybe.
I can't help but think this orbital laser might have been helpful at some other point in the franchise so far.
After this.
Did you let him finish this fight first?
No.
Oh.
Well, he wanted to kill both of them.
Heihachi.
Heihachi's so rude.
Heihachi.
I
That's
think-
one thing we don't do around here.
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, I think technically in game there would be a winner.
Don't you mean Tekkenly?
I'm going to show you my Heihachi style. Motherfucker. Okay.
So technically, in canon, they let him finish the fight, and then once they were like bowing to each other, they just nuked him from orbit.
I believe that the fight is an actual fight that you play in the game, so yes.
Pretty sick.
Great.
Incredible behavior.
I would love if in game, I don't know if this is true, in game, they go, "You win."
Honestly, I'd love to see it. I haven't had time to watch everything, but yes,
That would
yes.
be amazing.
All right. After this, oh yeah,
By the way, by Tekken 7, Heihachi is 76 according to the wiki.
there you go. 76. He's still kicking. He's still got
kicking.
still got some moves in him.
Yeah.
He apparently didn't age between Tekken 4 to 6. I don't know if that happened all in a year
Well,
or he
because
was
Tekken
dead.
5 picks up straight after Tekken 4, and
Okay.
Tekken 6 probably isn't that far after.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Anyway, Tekken 7. After he explodes those two,
Yep.
in a very normal fashion, Heihachi then gives an interview to a journalist, relaying all that I have just told you, the entire backstory of the Mishima family,
Oh my god. Okay.
although with a bit of favorable light on his own actions. Although
course.
not as much as you think. This is what I was mentioning before. He admits to killing Kazumi and says he regrets not killing Kazuya when he had the chance as a child,
I should have snapped his neck instead of throwing him to
painting
the
the entire rivalry as his campaign to rid the world of the devil gene, which
Yeah.
that's smart marketing.
It
my
is,
man.
it is smart.
Heihachi's got a business head on his shoulders,
Yeah.
if nothing, on
Well,
top of his massively built fucking body.
Because like dad throwing 5-year-old son into ravine looks bad. Dad, after having defended himself against Mother Demon, having to sadly throw his son away to rid the world of this curse, that looks different.
To be fair, exactly what he says is, I knew that if he survived, he had the devil gene in him, which it's Salem witch trials all over again. Because
It
if
is.
he didn't, it's not a good outcome.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't trust you with my children ever.
No.
It's like,
You shouldn't.
dude's going to throw my children in a ravine. He's like, I don't see what the problem is.
Hey, it's possible.
Hey, your child's eyes went black. That's the devil. I took care of it for you. Don't worry.
You turned off the light. It was just dark.
I took care of it for you. It's okay now.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, direct wiki quote here for how this scene finishes. The journalist asks what this war means to Heihachi, only for Heihachi to walk off while the journalist is knocked out by Tekken 4 soldiers. That's so fucking rude, my guy. Like, if Heihachi was going to give an interview, though, A+, exactly what he would do.
Yeah.
I wish more CEOs would just be blatantly honest about the evilness and just then
Just fucking knock out the journalist.
and walk away.
War crime. Literal war crime.
He literally just nuked an entire fucking stadium from orbit. I think that's more.
It's
of
not a
war-
stadium, it was a tower.
Building. It was on the roof of the tower.
It was on the roof of a tower.
Oh my god! I'm
Come on,
so
man.
sorry.
Get on the wall.
He just nuked an entire tower, and we're saying this is a war crime.
Yay. I mean, assaulting journalists is...
They're all war crimes. He just does war crimes. That's all he does.
He's a war crime doer. Kazuya, meanwhile, obviously still alive. Of
course.
he fucking is.
Yep.
Retaliates against this very rude sky laser blast by using his own devil powers to knock the satellite out of the sky, crashing down and causing untold destruction to the city below.
That's so fucking sick.
Because he just...
Yep.
And also very neatly wraps up the orbital laser as like a story mission. It's like, it's gone now, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, he fucking didn't. He didn't fucking knock out.
He did, he laser beamed it out the
You
sky
did
with
not
his
just
devil powers.
That's pretty sick.
Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. Kazuya knocked the satellite out of orbit with his devil powers.
No, he didn't. He didn't. That's so tough. And it killed everyone below.
And it killed a bunch of people.
Fuck yeah.
There's literally a scene with Lars and a couple of the others just standing there, like, looking at the rubble of this just destroyed city. Just being like, damn. I don't think there's any more to that scene.
That was Kazuya, right?
That was Kazuya, yes.
So the satellite did nothing to him.
No.
Great. Also, Heihachi might be doing a bunch of bad things, but he is really shit at killing this devil machine.
Well,
He
he's
is.
going to try and fix that because a few hours later, Kazuya and Heihachi face down once again on the edge of another volcano.
Why?
Canonically, according to the dialogue of the scene, Heihachi chose this location. How he told Kazuya, meet me at this volcano so we can fight, son.
He just sent him a text.
Exactly what the fuck? Because Kazuya goes like, interesting place you've chosen to fight, father. And it's just like, wait, whoa. That dialogue reveals way more than you think it does. What are you talking about?
I would love
These guys are orbital missiling each other, hiding out in different countries, and they've got a text chain.
I would no. I love that their companies are actually like very connected. Their companies have a lot of bonds. So he just sent like a memo through the chain of command.
Exactly. It's just someone in HR just receives the email. I was like, oh, I'm going to forward that to...
Heihachi.
No, to Kazuya, actually.
Forward it to his personal assistant.
I think Kazuya might have just been killed by a missile. I think we'll send this through anyway. All right, let's send that. Good.
Oh no! So I haven't read my latest email. Yeah. Oh, he knocked their satellite out of orbit. Oh,
okay. Well, it seems like he's all right then.
I'm sure we'll have to pay that damage. I'm sure we have
that.
to pay that damages, but that'll be fine.
Oh, Margaret, it's your birthday. Happy birthday! It's the cake's in the break room. Yeah.
Let me just send this death threat before
Let me
you
just send this real quick. Man, volcano fight. Interesting, right? Very fun. God.
It's interesting why you chose this fight, father.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay. I don't want to throw a spanner in the works or like disrupt us or anything, but I really want to ask.
Yeah.
So this is Tekken 7.
Uh-huh.
What's happening with the fight? Like
What do you mean,
the
what's
Tekken
happening?
fight, the tournament, the Iron Fist tournament.
You're right.
It got cancelled.
Oh.
No.
Because
No,
the games,
no.
so the game's just playing through these different fights.
I think that there is still a Tekken tournament. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, because there's definitely still fights, but it's like about where they take place. I think that
Yeah.
their story like levels.
Interesting.
It's like Smash Bros, where there's like the story levels in a way.
Yeah,
where you
gotcha,
can
gotcha.
play through them, but when you play the campaign, you like go to them one by one.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure. Haven't played Tekken 7. Didn't watch any of the cutscenes. I just read the wiki.
That's fair.
This
I read the wiki and watched a bunch of stuff and read the dialogue and other things. Don't worry, I do research.
the one thing I won't stand for. I'll take knocking the satellite out of orbit with the demon powers, but I need a tournament. The one thing we have stood on for all this insanity is the one time we all get together to have a good time is a tournament.
It's a fucking tournament.
But I do like that is a psychological warfare move. Putting a thing on a volcano, be like, I threw you in once.
I'll
do
do it
you
again.
Fine.
What happens?
Heihachi and Kazuya go at it for a while, with Kazuya using multiple devil forms before finally, exhausted, the two of them are just two dudes brawling at the very end of it. Kazuya drops his devil form. Heihachi is at his final thing. They are literally trading blows. Neither of them are trying to dodge. They're just like punching each other in the face, just over and over again. Finally, from the ground, Kazuya gets knocked down and has a flashback of all the times his father has abused him and all the terrible things he's done. And with one final burst, again, direct quote from the Wiki, hits Heihachi with a punch so strong, it stopped Heihachi's heart.
No.
To be fair, he's a 76-year-old man.
It's not going to be... Shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be that hard, right?
He punched him in the chest, gave him a heart attack.
Correct. Defeated, Heihachi's body is lifted into the air by Kazuya before he casts him into the volcano.
Yeah.
No,
but we do
not
know
my
that is not a good way to
boy.
dispose of a person in this universe. He shouldn't do that.
Exactly. And then Kazuya stands over his body, and one final quote for whichever one of you wants to do
Who
it.
did the last quote?
You did.
Nope, that's Ninja from Space. Hold up, I grabbed the wrong quote.
A ninja from
Shut
space.
the fuck up about
A ninja from space.
Okay. Oh, who's going?
Epic voice, Judy.
A fight is about who's left standing. Nothing else.
This is a quote from the flashback of his childhood. Kazuya stands triumphant finally over his father.
Fuck yeah.
The game then technically ends with Kazuya fighting Akuma, although I think that's just like an after credits scene.
Yeah, fair.
I would love to just see the flashback would be like ravine,
Mm-hmm.
Volcano. Lost a fight. Lost another fight. Lost a fucking another fight. Satellite orbit.
Satellite.
That one came out of nowhere.
Finally, we are at Tekken 8. Yeah. The
Wait,
most recent game in the series.
Yeah.
Heihachi's dead.
Heihachi's dead.
So sad.
Finally, we arrive at the most recent game. Heihachi is dead.
Don't look
Jin
at me
is
like
in
that.
hiding.
Don't look at me like that.
Jin is in hiding, and Kazuya rests as the winner of the bloodiest family feud in history.
Incredible.
Let's finish this. All right. Kazuya has continued with Jin's plan, waging war on all the countries of the world.
Fuck yeah.
He's like, oh, that's pretty good.
I assume they still had the independent nation paperwork, because Heihachi did control the company in the middle there,
Yeah.
and they didn't seem to be at war, but also they did orbital missile strike a city, so...
It was already in process. You know, you don't
Yeah.
want to cut that off.
Yeah.
But Jin had already declared war, and there was already an active war going on there, but then...
It's really bad for a company, for a CEO to step in and just change the direction, really pivot. It's really bad for the
Exactly, yeah.
culture. So
In,
Yeah, it's really important for the culture of the company to stay
so
at
to
war.
really keep that in the one direction. Sorry.
They do make a slight pivot. So Jin's original plan was to resummon Azazel, if you remember,
Yep.
the
And
demon
kill
of
him.
chaos, and kill him.
And he
Jin-
did it, and it didn't work.
Correct. Jin seems to legitimately have world domination as his goal.
You mean
Kazuya.
Sorry, Kazuya, yes.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
come on,
said
guy.
unlike Jin, he had legitimate world domination as
Yeah,
well. I
keep,
misread it.
keep up.
Yeah, I know, fuck you.
You're not keeping track of all these fucking characters.
As such, as he announces his plans for world domination, he also announces the 8th Iron Fist tournament. With this one being to decide which countries will survive to see the new world order.
That's fucking
Each
sick.
country must select one brawler as their participant, and when the participant loses, they will be killed along with their entire country. Which, note, one of the countries is Asia,
It's Asia.
which is a lot of people.
That's not a country.
It's a continent.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just ask?
Yes.
So, it says how many fighters are there? 8?
There's 8 in the original game. There's many, many, many more by this point. There's like 40 by this point.
Cool.
In 2022, Asia had 60% of the world's population.
Let's go, baby. Incredible.
There's a lot riding on that guy's shoulders.
Yeah. Also, question.
Yeah.
You said the countries that will survive.
Yes.
Is it like the top 8 survive?
Don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Because-
I know that the...
No, yeah, tournament works. One country will survive.
I mean, possibly. It's also incredibly funny because Kazuya isn't in this tournament, but he has someone enter as an Asia representative, which is Jin. Which seems like a weird choice considering they hate each other.
Interesting.
Well, he's like, I don't want to have to blow myself up. I'm going to put my best fighter in. Where are they?
At various places. The first round of the tournament, like the real tournament, takes place in the Colosseum.
Okay, sick.
Surely the world forces can stop this, right? The entire world in together. What happened to that UN guy? The fuck he doing?
Do you think the UN can do anything?
No, but what is he doing?
He's just around.
Yeah. How's Lars gone?
Lars is fine. Lars is hanging out. Lars is helping Jin. Remember? Because
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
Lars
sheltering
and
him.
Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're trying to help out to like make sure that
His uncles.
yeah, Jin can like survive. Yeah.
I'm glad his uncle's looking after him.
Yeah, having a good time.
What the fuck is happening? Okay,
Obviously.
what's happening in this tournament?
Obviously, with the tournament, Jin joins and is faced with a few new faces on the roster, including a new aunt who is a high school student.
Fuck yeah.
What do you mean?
Heihachi might be fucking evil, but he can get it.
Yeah, you can.
So we had a child.
Yes. Who is now Jin's aunt because of the age and
Yes,
the
I know
family
that.
thing.
When he was like, "Oh, that's actually not the most unrealistic
It's
thing."
not the most unrealistic thing. It's just fucking weird.
It's just fucking weird.
Especially considering that he is how old? 70-something?
70.
Well, he was 76 when he had his heart attack and died.
Well, the character, I believe, is... They're at a polytechnic school, so they're in uni, so they've got to be like 18, 19... Well, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, so he had the kid when he was
So
like
about
60.
about the same time as Tekken 1.
Yeah,
Or
so
2.
possible. No, a little bit later than that. But yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Preliminaries happen for each country, and Jin and others fighting in the Asia qualifiers will then jump forward to the first round of the tournament, which, again, is being held in Italy in the Colosseum. Which Colosseum is not spelled how I thought it was spelled, but that's okay.
No.
It's just a weirdly spelt word. You just see it and you're like, oh, Coliseum.
Yep.
Anyway, A number of people have shown up to watch this go down, including Zafina, the mystic woman from the Sand Temple during that story mode dump when I was talking about Azazel and all that sort of
Is
shit.
she the robot?
No, she's the mystic woman from the village nearby whose family were there to protect the temple,
Yeah,
essentially.
God, Mac.
And she did a really bad job because it got blown up.
Correct.
See, I remember.
Showing up as well.
I just don't want to get my women confused, you know? My robot woman to my mystic women from the temple.
Okay.
Showing up as well is Kazuya. He's here. Who promptly pulls the imprisoned Azazel out of Zafina's arm, where she imprisoned it after the fight between Azazel and Kazuya while it was in its weakened form, as her family's job was to ensure that that demon never got out. Azazel had performed a ritual to imprison the demon Azazel in her body. Kazuya rips Azazel out of Zafina's arm and then absorbs the power, becoming even stronger and just obliterating this tournament for no fucking reason.
Wasn't it his tournament?
It's his tournament.
What's he doing?
He's just fucking around.
Is he in the tournament?
No. I don't know.
Surely he should do the thing we all love to do, is he has to fight the winner.
The entire possibility is that he organized the tournament specifically to get Zafina to somewhere where he knew that she was.
Yeah.
That is a strong possibility.
Was she also the best fighter in the Middle East? Is that why?
Possibly. I'm not 100% sure. I think so. She's definitely a fighter. She has...
That's why every important person in the universe. Oh, by the way, I've been training my whole fucking life for this shit.
But also it used to be just like, I am a wildlife officer from the Wildlife Fund and I'm here to arrest the organizer, whereas now it's like, I'm a mystic woman with a god imprisoned inside me.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But everyone knows everyone's really good at martial arts.
Oh, everyone's
We
been
started with, I look after orphans in my spare time and want some money to build my orphanage, and now we're here.
He was
Exactly.
he was also a wrestler who couldn't be stopped by anyone. They
Yeah.
should use that guy.
King's still here.
He said he
King
can't,
still... I think King fights in this tournament.
Oh, fuck yeah.
but he can't be stopped by anyone.
Correct.
How's he getting
Who can
stopped?
stop him?
How's he getting stopped?
Okay. In the midst of the chaos, Jin is saved by his UN support, Lars, and... Oh, no, UN support, I think, must be Raven there.
Yeah.
So
he's
Raven
back.
is around.
He's back.
Fuck yeah.
Saved by
you
his
he
UN
could do
support, taken back to Japan as Kazuya chases after them. Arriving at the island he was born on, as well as where his mother clan was based, he collapsed at a shrine, with the plan being for him to essentially try and summon a power that would allow him to fight Kazuya, since he's the only one known to be alive today who has beaten Kazuya in a fight. And
Yeah.
especially when he's this powerful, Jin's the only other one that is alive, apart from a couple of other people, who has the devil gene. They're like, he's our best shot. Can you just go meditate for a bit and see if you can think something up to help us fight this guy?
It is weird
Yeah.
getting him to do it. He's also the guy who declared war on the whole world. Like,
But also,
He's the
he's
only
told people at this point that that was because of the demon. So
sure,
it's not
sure,
all
buddy,
his fault.
Sure, buddy.
It's not
It was-
all his
It was
fault.
not because of the demon.
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
You were following a family tradition.
a low guy.
He collapsed at the shrine.
Yeah.
Internally, he moved through and encounters his devil within. I don't know what the details of the scene are, but he makes peace with this demon, agreeing to kind of make an alliance.
Yeah, the other half of Kazuya.
Yeah.
As Kazuya tore his way from Italy to Japan, just driving straight across. The UN are trying to like ward him off, but also, what
are
do
they gonna
bullets mean to
fucking
these
do?
fucking guys?
Yeah.
Well, his dad can catch him in his mouth, so
Correct.
now he's a big devil.
As Kazuya finally arrives on the island,
Yep.
Jin awakens a new form, Angel Jin.
Angel Jin.
This is hinted at in one of the very early games where Jin's ending, where he flies off out of that temple where he got shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's actually, no, it's not part of that. It's part of the one where Heihachi got exploded in the dojo.
I see.
When Jin escapes, there's a cloud of black feathers, which is part of the demon form, and then in the center, a single white feather. So it was pre-hinted even from, I think, 4 or 5.
There you go.
that
Where
this-
did he get his angel form?
from the his mother's clan. So from
So they're not all demons.
No, my biggest suspicion is that it's not strictly, it's called the demon gene, but I don't know if it is strictly tied to demons alone.
I mean, if you want to believe Azazel, he said,
and if-
I made it.
Correct, but also it doesn't mean that they can't be hosts to a different kind of power,
Yeah,
or
interesting.
possible that they can convert the power, because as a Bible lover yourself, as a Bible enjoyer, you know well that demons and angels are technically two sides of the same coin.
Depends on the demon, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's possible that that's
But
what
the
happened.
greater demons were fallen angels, yes.
So it's possible that he has arisen.
Yeah, by the way, his demon, does he have a separate demon? Or is his demon only the other half of
Kazuya's
original demon?
I think that is the case. I'm not 100% sure about the details. I don't know if it's ever made clear. If it is, get at me on Discord. Nonetheless, drawing power from this new form,
He's now an angel, baby.
he rose up to meet Kazuya, and deflecting a strike from him, both of them are then launched into space.
Fuck yeah.
The final battle of this game takes place with the two of them on top of a meteor entering Earth's atmosphere, the fire around them as they streak towards the planet.
Where does meteor come from?
I don't
That's
fucking
worrying.
know. I don't know. The final battle, there's upper hands at various points, all sorts of bits and pieces, but eventually, either caused by a djinn or by the two of them meeting, a purification field forms into existence, with both of them being stripped of their powers, and at last falling to Earth, just humans.
Dying? I'm sure.
Does it end here? No! Of course it doesn't fucking end here. The two of them stand up when they hit the Earth and keep fighting. Not a joke. Unfazed. Unbothered.
Like,
In my element. Fighting
in my lane.
Fighting my kid.
Are they like down for a second, or do they just get up instantly?
Pretty much.
Wow.
There's not that much of a pause. The two of them then continue fighting, nonplussed. And at long last, the final one standing is Jin.
Yeah.
And with that is how currently Tekken 8 ends. Kazuya is not dead. I will clarify that. He's just unconscious. But he seems to have been taken in by the Kazama clan as, guess who shows up? It's Jun, Jin's dead mother.
What?
Shows up to come take care of Kazuya, it seems. Either taking him into the clan, uncertain as of yet. But possibly just to you know,
What's she been doing this whole time?
rehabilitate him.
What's she been doing this whole time? How old? She's like grandma at this point.
Stuck in the
She's like a
spirit
7-year-old
realm.
grandma at this point.
Kazuya's age.
No, this is the mother of Kazuya.
No, this is Jin's mother. The
It's
zookeeper.
Kazuya's
Kazuya's
fling during the
love.
tournament.
Okay, there was a scene, and that is the World Wildlife Girl, right?
Yeah.
There was a scene where she came as like a ghostly figure and went like.
No, that was Kazumi.
That was
the
Kazumi.
ghostly
That was
figure.
Heihachi's partner.
Matt, you're getting your women confused.
Getting your women.
No, it wasn't.
Name 100
It
women.
wasn't. It wasn't because it was Jin's mother.
No.
Oh, no, he is right. Jin saw a vision of his mother, and his mother made him spare Kazuya. That is true.
Oh, that. Okay.
Was that just in his head?
I mean, they're all, like, super spiritual martial artist gods, so
Sure.
probably not.
So like she said a vision, but she couldn't show up herself.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
As said, this
I was
law-
thinking, oh, it makes sense because she's not dead. That vision made sense, but no, it's the girl who had a vision from the heavens. Is fucking alive.
Yeah, exactly. This story, as said, goes under a lot of retcons and doesn't make a lot of sense because a lot of shit just kind of gets piled on top of each other, and we deal with what it is. Anyway, Kazuya's not dead, taken in by the Kazama clan.
I was right. Thank you.
Yeah, good job. Well done.
I'm following.
Yeah, good job.
Jin, meanwhile, goes off with his girlfriend, not sure, Zhao Yu, who is one of the other fighters that's introduced in
Fuck
Tekken
yeah.
3, I believe. She is a Chinese martial artist who wants to build an amusement park.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Is that Jin? Jin just goes up with her?
Jin just goes off with her. They're traveling around the US now.
Oh, nice.
pretty good.
Who's running the fucking company? Heihachi.
Probably. He comes back.
Nah, Jin Panzo, what was his name?
Jinpachi. He's
Jinpachi.
super dead.
Yeah.
It could be Lars and Lee. You know.
Could be Lars and Lee.
Honestly, I
Lars and Lee.
shit Lars and Lee. I know they were
You shit Lars and Lee?
ship.
Ship. Okay, good.
Ship.
Are
And
they
they were
brothers?
They were brothers.
They were adopted.
Oh,
brothers.
adopted brothers. it's true.
Adopted and a half brother, so yeah.
Adopted and a half brother, and they didn't meet each other until they were adults.
That's
Yeah,
perfectly
entirely
fine. Yeah.
They just had the same dad. It's not that weird.
Yeah, because Lars was raised by his mother.
Honestly, it's the least weird thing in this family.
It would be.
Unsurprising. So, both are cleansed of their devil gene, although there is a final hint at where this insane story will go next, as the high school-aged aunt that I mentioned is shown at the very end of this, turning into her devil form.
Oh, no. But she shouldn't have it. She's
Heihachi's
kid. So that means that she has to have Kazumi as her
Oh, no,
mum.
Yeah, which she knows she's alive, isn't she?
Not Kazumi.
Oh, no, because
Because Kazumi's dead at the point that she's... That doesn't make any sense then.
Or maybe he just fucked someone else from her fucking tribe.
True.
Not tribe.
True.
Is it?
Kazama clan.
Clan, sorry, yeah.
True. He could have just gone back to the clan and been like, the last one died.
I need to cook up another.
Need more demon seed.
Fucked up. Unbelievable. So, I mean, what did we learn?
Good on her. Good on her, actually.
What did we learn from this story, boys? What's the, every story has a lesson you can take from it. Every story has a moral.
That you need to be certain that you are following through on your actions and not leaving things half done.
I was going to say dad's strength is real.
Dad's strength's real.
Dad's strength is also real.
I was also going to say that we know there's the only things in life are death and taxes. I would like to add another one to the Tekken universe. The only thing in life is you must show up to a Tekken tournament.
You must be at the Tekken tournament.
Yeah,
You must be
yeah,
at the-
yeah.
Everyone respects the Tekken
Everyone's
tournament.
there.
And
Be there or be square.
And the fact that 7 didn't have a Tekken tournament is actually sacrilege, and I don't believe it's canon.
I don't think it is canon either. I just think I missed where it happened. I think the true lesson that we can take from this is as follows. Don't make up a bullshit story for your video game in case it lasts for 30 years. Because it'll be cooked by the end.
It's true.
I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. I know what you're up to. I'm watching that new fucking release. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you think for a second.
You have to come back to the Call of Duty episode?
I might. There's some bullshit going on, my guys. I did a little bit of research and I'll say this, it hasn't gotten better.
Oh, no.
I don't know what I expected going into Tekken because it was very much a random pick, but I think a very wild ride, lots of ups and downs, a lot of unexpected twists, a lot of very, very expected twists. And overall, I think a good example of like, this game is deeper than it seems, than anyone would assume. You say Tekken to someone, they're like, arcade fighting game? You're like, orbital laser.
It is ridiculous and very fun, but I do like how, at the end of the day, it is a story of family. It's a story.
Family.
It's a story of how you should look after your family and stay together, and don't throw your kids in ravines.
Family.
Family.
I also want to mention right here at the end, I'm sorry to any fans who thought I would touch on things, which I kind of did, like Kuma the Bear, Kuma 2, Panda, Roger, Mojuken, the training dummy come to life, who has a wife, and a whole bunch more. But to be honest, I had a sidetrack part like in between each game planned, but the script hit like 6,000 words and 14 pages, and I was like, we're going to be here for fucking 4 hours if I do this. So I will maybe do it in the future. Maybe I'd love to touch on a bunch of fighting game characters. But you know where you can talk to someone if you want to talk about stupid and amazing video games characters? Our Discord.
Join our Discord at Limbo Law. It should be in the description of the episode you're watching or listening to right now. You can also find our memes and keep up to date with our podcast on Instagram, on TikTok, there's a Facebook, I don't really use it that much. There's Threads as well, technically there's a Threads. YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, join us there. Usually Instagram and TikTok are the best places you can check us out. Also, the best thing you can do is tell a friend. Share your podcast, tell people about it if you like it, share it. And the number of stars you rate us on iTunes or Spotify is the number of times you can die and come back to life.
Get thrown into a ravine.
Get thrown into a ravine, volcano, explode on a mountain and have no explanation why you survived, or just catch a bullet in your mouth.
Yeah.
I would say the number of stars that you rate us is the number of companies that you can take over by forcefully killing their entire upper management and just declaring yourself king.
The number of stars is the number of Tekken tournaments you can win.
That's incredible. I would take that in an instant.
What number round?
5 of them? You mean if 5 minimum means I may beat Jin, Heihachi, and Kazuya? Like minimum.
You're not beating Heihachi. Look at you.
That's true.
No one's beating Heihachi.
You really just say, look at you.
I mean, he's right. Have you looked at Heihachi? Have you looked at Heihachi?
Honestly, this isn't like the angel forms, the demon forms. Like, oh my god, intimidating. But fuck, there's nothing like
Nothing like an angry old Heihachi.
Heihachi is way more intimidating. Look at this fucking guy.
The face on him. Oh, he's incredible.
I'd rather fight Angel Jin than fucking Heihachi.
It's true.
It's incredible.
No one's caught a bullet in their mouth except Heihachi.
A thing as well.
Yeah.
That I'm going to throw a guy under the bus with maybe here. If you sign up to our Patreon, a thing you do get is access to our scripts.
Yep.
Which means you can see all of those extra bits that Guy had.
No, I cut them out, my guy. I stripped them.
Well, when Guy adds them back in this evening, you can see them.
No. Don't make him do that. But what you do on the podcast, you get to go to our scripts.
No!
You get our scripts, you get to chat with us, and you get
Access to videos of the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, videos of these recordings, these dumb recordings that we put. And best thing we're doing out there right now, every 2 weeks, pretty consistently now, we're doing mini episodes on there. So
Talking nerd news.
check out those mini-sodes. You get about half an hour to 40 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes.
Like an hour.
Of like sometimes an hour of us just talking about nerd news and the latest things we've like seen. TV shows, books, tabletop games, whatever. So yeah, get behind it. And thank you, Guy, for bringing Tekken to life.
I'm glad.
I never knew after just seeing a cutscene. It was like, you threw my partner off a cliff. I'm gonna do the same to you. It's just that's the whole story.
That's the whole story. You got it
That
right.
is
That's
the
when
whole
you
story.
said that, I was like, oh shit. Oh, he's already ahead of it. He already knows.
Yeah. Oh man.
I didn't know that happened in every game.
Literally every game, someone gets thrown off something.
So good.
Or
It's so
blasted
good.
from orbit. I can't get it. The orbital laser comes from
That's
fucking
just fucked.
nowhere.
Insane.
Incredible behavior.
Oh, well,
Yes.
well, thank you so much for listening. And just like Heihachi, with a 1-2 punch, good night.
And then when you scratch your head and wake up from that nap, good morning.
And when you have a little snack, good afternoon.
Where the fuck did the snack come from?
It's a little snack. You
Your
think they
bird.
don't eat?
Your bird.
No.
You think Heihachi doesn't eat? You don't think he has a little snack?
He definitely.
What do you think that?
What the fuck does Heihachi eat?
Yeah.
Straight fucking aluminium by the look of his hair. He's extruding it
Yeah.
out of the top of his head.
Thank you for listening to Living by the Law. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave a review, tell your friends, and if you're feeling extra generous, become an official lawkeeper by joining our Patreon today. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Living by the Law. All links are in the description, and thank you in advance. We have been, and always will be, living by the law. Thank you for your company, and good night.